Okay.
Yeah, I could use a wish spell. It's been a while since someone has asked for that, so, you know,
That or a
there you
level
go.
up or $1 million. I mean,
Yeah,
all
say
those genie
that.
No,
wishes that will.
I'll trade a I'll trade a level up and a wish for $1 million if you got that.
If only.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the one this morning. It was like, DM, that was a great session, players. So do we level up?
No, you level down.
That would be an interesting campaign. Everybody starts at level 20, and every level up is actually a level down for some reason.
And your ultimate quest is to stop the aging process, as every time you level down, you also lose 1dx number of years of life.
That'd be cool. Play as humans too. That way it's like realistic. Versus
Nah, you gotta do something
elves,
that
where it's
doesn't
like
last very long. Like, I mean, like humans they don't last that long, I guess. Yeah,
Exactly,
yeah,
so-
a 20 down to whatever number you get to before infant form would truly be an interesting. I'm just thinking like races that don't live very long. Like I think Dragonborns only live to be like 50, so it's like naturally 50. Obviously, there are some that live longer than that, but like just the concept of you are on a very very tight schedule. You get to level 20 and then are cursed with reverse aging. That would be wild.
D8s or 10s or 6s. What would you think?
Oh, I don't know. If you make it D10s, man, you roll like you do that like 5 times and suddenly now you're an egg or something.
Oh, my dice app on my phone, I did 20 D10s. First roll is 108. So if you're a human, you're dead.
Wouldn't that be wild? Just a singular D20 every time.
Oh, jeez, that'd even be worse.
That would be the best. I don't know what you're talking about.
My first roll is 169.
R.I.P. All right, where we last left off, the party had commenced the final phases of the, essentially the battle with Hedrun to prevent her from fully completing her ritual, knowing that within a matter of moments the ritual could very well be complete. The party traversed to the final chambers, half the party confronting Hedrun directly and realizing the power that this arcane conduit is giving her. Big Toon realizing firsthand, critically failing against a icy rendition of Fireball known as Splintering Shards, which immediately dropped him to negative 30 basically, and had to roll to avoid falling immediately dead from shock, surviving that and being brought back to I think what six health I think you're sitting at right now.
Right around there, yeah.
The party realized the benefits of the shield guardian that is with them, that absorbs half the damage from whoever bears its medallion. Athros, in an attempt to save Big Toon, gave him the medallion while he was down, and now Big Toon has a little bit of a buffer, but also not really. The other half of the party entered the final chamber on their end too, and confronted Cephik, and through a bunch of great rolls and manipulations of terrain and failed saves on the visage of Cephik Keltro's part, brought him down rather quickly, and are now face to face with the arcane conduit, trying to determine how they can destroy it, as Ibrin, with the inability to use his the psychic powers that he currently has, as it's immune to psychic damage, they all kind of stand there pondering how they're going to approach this obstacle. Miras, attempting to do some damage to the conduit, did fire a crossbow bolt, and it did do, while not the damage he was hoping, it did do damage to the conduit itself, meaning that it's not impenetrable or unbreakable. And as we ended there, I don't think I really missed anything. Cephik sealed the exit out of the chamber with the arcane conduit with a wall of ice, leaving the party kind of stranded inside the chamber for the time being as they figure out what to do. Something that I have not been doing that I should have been doing that will would have vastly changed Big Toon's output here. And we're going to... It's not going to matter in 2 seconds here, but that would have played a big part last time is technically Hedrun has a veil of frost around her, and anyone within 20 feet of her has to roll a con save or take X amount of cold damage. Forgot all about that when I was in the middle of fighting all of you last week. So, it's not going to matter in 2 seconds here. After it doesn't matter in 2 seconds here, suddenly there's a veil that apparently wasn't there. That's
Sure
my
forgot
bad.
about it.
I didn't add a light source to give me a reference, so that's on my bad. But we ended with Ebron firing his arrow, bringing us to technically Spit. However, during this moment here, Hedrun is going to use her legendary action to cast a non-concentration spell, and she's going to Misty Step farther away from Athros, now that she is aware that she is vulnerable to him. And she's going to go over... What was the distance there? Right there. So, Big Tune, as Hedrun stands before you, the globule of darkness behind her, or dim light that Athros can summon, seeing that she's going to utter a verbal incantation, and you watch almost as if she passes right through you as she teleports behind you closer to Spit, which will bring us to Spit's actual turn, and him, being the boy that he is going to fire an arrow at Hedrun, not really having much else that he himself can do unless he wants to get up uber close.
I don't... Hadrian's about to incur even more rage than she just saw on my turn. If she goes after Spit, the entire party is going to, like...
Oh, yeah. That's why I was just thinking, like, oh...
That's the great
you crossed the line.
Like...
So, since it didn't matter for Big Tune, I'm going to enact it starting now, because that was what was supposed to happen last time and do more damage. Spit, starting his turn within 20 feet of Hedrun, has to roll a con save. He does not have great con.
No.
How much damage does that do? Because he did fail. He takes 20 cold damage.
Oh my god. Does that proc on the start of the turn then, I'm assuming?
It's if you start your turn in her range. So, like, if you enter her range the first time,
yeah.
Unlike Spirit Guardians where it triggers when you enter, this one is only at the start of a character's turn.
Okay.
If I did it when you start your turn there or enter there the first time, I think it'd be a bigger slaughter. So, just gonna not do that for the sake of...
No kidding.
My hope is that, ideally, at least one person survives. So Spit's
just Spit.
Well, he went from barely injured to badly injured in half a second, so hopefully Spit. We'll see.
But let's be real. If it comes down to rezzing either me or Spit, I feel like I know what everybody's going to want to choose, so...
Spit fires an arrow. And it does hit. You see, like, you would see him just get coated in this icy veil, like ice particles beginning to form on his body, but he's still, him in his little muscular form, able to pull back his bow and fire off an arrow at Hedrun that, like, plants square in, like, the side of one of her shoulders. Not as much damage as he was hoping it would do, but he just still does some damage to her, which is a success in his book, as he's, like, shivering there. He is also going to, I think, take a few steps back, not wanting to stay in this veil.
Smart.
Not running away, just out of range. Which brings us to Ono. who is still mesmerized by how to take down the arcane conduit, he would look to the party. Anybody have some ideas on maybe how we can? I'm open to suggestions.
Fireball.
If I could fireball it, I would have tried that in the first place. Although, I mean, I do have fiery things that I can do. He does not have any second level spell slots left. Okay. He is going. It's worth a shot. He's gonna just cast Firebolt at the arcane conduit to see how it reacts. Didn't even roll, it just bounced on the screen, but it still hit, and that's what matters. He fires off a bolt of fiery energy. On two d10s, he rolled a total of 5. But you notice that the damage that it takes seems to be almost the entirety of, like, it takes all the fire damage versus it being maybe siphoned off, signaling that fire is a decent element to use against it. That brings us to, since this battle has commenced, round 21. Miras, you top us off at the beginning of the round.
Okay.
The fire looks like it takes effect. I would tell Miras that you might want to bust out that green flame blade and run up and stab it.
Okay. So I take Ebron's advice and we'll move up and use Green Flame Blade on it.
Okay. Go for it, Miras. That 16 will hit. Go ahead and roll for some damage against this arcane conduit. Okay, for a nice toasty 7 or 8-7. You see that the damage from the dagger, just like your crossbow bolt, seems to be reduced. It doesn't like impact as deep, but the fire itself seems to get like it envelops almost in an arc-like pattern across the side of the arcane conduit, dealing the full damage with the fire that you thought it would.
Okay, and then I will follow up with my Dagger Swift Fire.
Okay, go for it. That will hit. Go ahead and roll some damage, sir. Okay. Awesome for extra damage. Alright, you see that continuing to chip away your dagger, just as before, it doesn't hit as deep, but you still leave like a decent like crack-sized chunk going across the first layer of the arcane conduit. You do feel as you're inside this close vicinity to the arcane conduit, a chill beginning to kind of overtake you. Doesn't seem to have an impact now, but you feel that staying in this aura too long might have some unforeseen consequences. You still have 5 feet of movement if you want to move, or if you're going to stay right there. It's totally up to you.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and start moving back.
Okay, so you begin making your way away from the arcane conduit for the time being. that'll bring us to Matra, who, seeing Hedrun up close, Big Tune with the small amount of strength that you have, like kind of recoiling from that recklessness that you had the turn before. You see Matra, while visibly shaking, you see that she still has like a face of at least moderate determination as she readies up to fire 2 more bolts of eldritch energy at Hedrun. First one is going to miss. You watch as like Hedrun, now within a close proximity to Matra, is able to almost like redirect the energy away from herself with this overflowing excess arcane energy that she's been accumulating over the course of this battle. She rolled. The second one also misses, so Hedrun herself was able to like avoid the 2 attacks, locking eyes with Matra. Really for probably the first real time in this battle, the 2 of them sharing this like common glance. And Matra also has to make a con save because she's within the range. She has better con than Spit did, though. Matra will succeed, so she takes 10 damage. We're gonna go back to her just for a hot second here. Matra's going to, following Spit's lead, feeling the cold. Oh wait, no, she has resistance to cold damage. She takes 5. She's going to probably follow Spit's lead and take a few steps back.
Let's just kite her all the way back to the other group.
That'll be the end of Matra's turn, which will bring us to Irini. Hearing from, or watching, I guess, as Ibrin fired his psychic arrow, realizing that she can't just curse the sphere to death. Irini, what other spells does she have that do damage?
Ram attack. I need somebody to be right next to it so I get sneak attack. Maris. God, move it away.
Irini, if you verbally said that in your mind, Irini would take that as a sign to move up. She's gonna move up right next to the. She's gonna move up anyway. She's going to move up right next to the sphere. Feeling the cold, just as Miris is currently experiencing, begin to kind of overtake her body. She's going to try and cast with a 3rd level spell, Dispel Magic, to see if she can create an opening within the arcane conduit. And she'll have to roll for that one. She doesn't have a lot that she can do magically. She needs... Next level, she's going to get some spells that'll hopefully benefit her. She does get 4th level spell slots after all, provided she lives. Which I hope everyone does, but I make no promises. Okay. What is it? DC, space level. Okay. She'll roll. So you, those of you who are in the secondary chamber with the arcane conduit would see as Irini tries to apply, like, to push kind of through this frosty veil and try to create an opening for, like, a more powerful attack to take hold. But she can't quite seem to get it off the way she was hoping she would, and it kind of pushes back. You see, like, her fingers as she's trying to, like, open up this this pocket in the frosty veil, now currently being like coated in a layer of ice. She's going to hold her ground though, like stick in her hooves and hold her ground, knowing that Ibra needs the support. That'll bring us to the Shield Guardian, whose command was, I believe, destroy.exe. It's going to move right up to Hedrun and commence attempts to smash. Running executable. It will recover, as they do. It recovers 10 health at the beginning of its turn. And I should make it roll its save first. Let's make it roll its con save. Which it should be really good at, because it has freaking 18 con.
Oh my god.
It will succeed. So it takes
Wait,
10
did he,
What? I'm sorry.
did he regenerate at the beginning of his turn?
So he regenerates at the beginning, but he had to make... I didn't make his con save before he moved. He was within the 20 feet.
Okay.
So he takes 10 damage for the cold because he succeeded, but he also regenerates 10 damage. So it like neutralizes
Oh,
it.
sweet.
It neutralizes the cold. And he's going to begin a smashing. Because it's actually good at that too. And he crits! No cap.
Big time help.
Alright. And what is the damage on that motherfucker? Okay, so it'll be an additional 12 damage. As he goes in with one mighty fist, you watch as like it smacks like Hedrun like across the face, and she like falters down for a moment, almost going down to one knee, as the other fist readies to go in for an attack. Second attack will still hit. Just meets the AC. As it powers up another punch. This one not dealing as much damage, but still doing some. As Hedrun like reeling back, she gets like pelted again with another mighty fist, losing her her footing for just a moment as she like comes back up. Shield Guardian is gonna stay exactly where he's at. That'll bring us to Athros.
Alright. Move up 30 feet. And then I will cast Sacred Flame on her.
Okay. DC 16 Dex save. She will fail, so she'll take the damage from your Sacred Flame as a radiant pillar of light beams down on her for a few moments, shredding into this icy flesh that she currently has.
Alright, and that's it for my turn.
Alright, that'll bring us to Hedrun herself. Hedrun on her turn with the power of the conduit. You watch as some of her, the cracks that have formed in the ice of her skin begin to disappear as she recovers some of her health back. Not a lot, not as much as before when Sephic was alive, but she still recovers some. And she is going to... she's going to turn and see Athros and Bictune. What is she gonna do?
You're gonna run away from me again. I can already tell.
Perhaps.
Coward. Come fight me.
Okay, she is going to look over at you two, and with a smirk on her hand, smirk on her face, she pulls back one of her hands. You see a plethora of arcane energy begin to veil itself around it in a spiraling-like pattern. And at the two of you, let me just check the range. Oh yeah, you're good. Sorry, she's good. She's gonna cast Cone of Cold. Alright, Bictune and Athros, the two of you need to make Constitution saving throws.
Oh my god.
Bictune, are you shitting me?
Oh. Oh, that's something in it.
Okay.
Can I use my telepathy ability to give him my bardic inspiration I've been holding on to for a while?
Nope.
I don't think that's gonna help you for fail.
Alright, well first off, let me see the damage total.
Oh, I think Vic 2 might be dead
Oh
this
yeah,
time.
no,
Oh,
this
yeah.
might be a great
88.
time. So,
Yeah.
Bictune. Well first off, Athros, what did you roll for your save? You rolled a 15. You would take 20 damage, but I believe you are resistant to cold, so you would take 10 for the rolled damage.
All
She
right.
rolled really badly for the rolled damage, but that does not help you, Bictune.
No, it sure don't.
As she utters out this incantation, you would hear her say to you, Bictune,
How,
the last
how much
of
of this
the...
damage can I pass on to this this dude?
Half.
Is that enough to keep me from dying instantly?
It wouldn't, so it would be... So here's the thing about this spell. It specifies killed by the spell.
Mm-hmm.
It says creature killed by the spell becomes a frozen statue until it thaws. I'm going to say that it passes enough damage to the to the golem that it won't instantly kill you. Because
I'm just down and frozen.
You are currently you'll become a frozen statue on the battlefield. But you are at 0. You are at 0 HP. And because of you being
So you mean my 8 wasn't enough?
No. As I will say that because you are a frozen statue, you can still make death saves, but they are going to be at disadvantage.
Okay.
As Athros, you would take the 10 damage if you haven't already applied it, and then Bictune, you are at 0.
I took it.
Yeah. Okay.
And the Shield Guardian takes 32 damage. As this blast of cold energy overtakes that area. Is there like a there's not.
I'm gonna go petrified, right?
Yeah, there you go. That's basically what you are. And that'll be her first attack here.
Now, if she does more damage to me, what does that do?
You instantly fail. Is it 1 death save or 2 death saves?
It's
if you were to...
2.
Okay.
Big damage, I'm pretty sure it's 2.
She would not have line of sight on Spit, and she would have, because of the Shield Guardian there, Matra would have half cover. So she's going to fire another lance. at you, Athros. Conjuring from the side of her, from the remnants of the ice that were in her hand, firing the cone of cold. Do-do-do. The fact that Big Toon has survived 2 crit fails is truly remarkable to me.
Yeah, he is a creature of an indomitable will.
She will miss with her lance as Aethers, you kind of bring up your shield to block it, and it shatters against the front of your shield, just falling to the ground as chunks of ice. Being within the Shield Guardian's range, though, she is going to move. Getting herself close to Matra as she prepares another attack, but can't make one right now.
Does
Shield
she
Guardian,
get a...
yes, the Shield Guardian will get an attack of opportunity. That's a good call.
Sweet. We need it. We need every bit of damage I can get right now.
Fist.exe. It rolled a crit fail. So, Shield Guardian smashes his fist into the ground, and it is currently stuck in the ground. I would say he will have to either spend... He'll have to roll a strength check to pull it out to gain his movement back, or he would have to stay where he's at. But, that is on his turn. That's not something to worry about right now. So, Hedrun will move the extra 10 feet that she was back towards Matra, and that will be Hedrun's turn. Dude, make a death save with disadvantage.
Oh my god! Please! Why? So close, that would have been horrible.
This is a no bueno moment.
At least, I mean, I'm glad it was a 2, but good lord, you want to make me any more stressed out about it?
That'll bring us to Ebrin.
Hey guys, how you doing over there?
It's a bit cold. Oh, unless you weren't talking to me, Iridi would say.
Yeah, the other guys, but I didn't know you could get cold. You got a lot of fur, I thought. Whip out my longbow. And I'll make an attack at it.
Go for it.
I don't know if it lets me target it, but...
It should. It is considered a targetable thing. 21 will hit. Go ahead and roll for some damage there, even.
Big numbers.
Not bad, not bad. 20 damage.
Yeah, it didn't let me target it. Unless it's still barely injured.
I haven't. There we go. Now it's switched to targeting. Okay. So as you hit it with your attack, you see that it does take damage. You kind of like try to aim for where like cuts have already been made, or like where Miris's crossbow bolt had hit it before, trying to like exploit those spots to try and do more. And you see it's still resistant to the attacks, but your attack did more damage than what the previous ones had, minus the fire attacks that Miris and Ono had cast out.
Well, I don't really have anything I can do for a bonus action. So, yeah, I end my turn, I guess.
Okay. Spitty boy. Spit.
Double crit. Double crit.
Spit is going to... Spit's torn. She's fine. Spit sees that Miris hasn't... Not Miris. Oh my god. Matra hasn't been as affected by the cold as he and everybody else has. Oh wait, is he within 20 feet? He is within 20 feet. He has to make a con save.
Oh no.
He will pass. Taking half damage, but bringing him down to in a not great spot. Spit is going to, using his short bow, he's going to fire off another attack at Hedrun. Trying to just do something, try to keep her away. Him not really enjoying her presence anymore. Kind of wanting to go home, back to the ship, as he fires off a bow attack. This is the story, how I got looped into the shenanigans of the Broken.
They murdered my brethren, took me in, only to lead me to die.
Spit rolled a crit fail. So Spit, as he's pulling back his bow, the cold that's overtaking him also seems to be affecting his bow, and it breaks the string on his bow, so his attack is not able to go off. Visibly frustrated and a little bit scared, not trying to soil himself, he's going to take a few steps back to try and gain himself just some time to be able to fix his bow and fire off another attack, hoping Matros survives, as does the rest of the party.
It's about to be a 1v1 fight here in a second on this side.
Yeah. She just keeps running away from me, so it's like, what can I do?
Right.
That'll bring us to Ono, who is going to still has 2 level 1 spell slots for Cure Wounds. Nah, it's not really... I mean, other than Irini and Miris, it doesn't seem like it's actively affecting anybody else, so Ono is going to fire off another firebolt to try and chip away more damage at it.
Is that 3 ones now so far?
Today, yes, I think so.
Yeah. 4 if we include mine from last week.
As he fires off his firebolt, Ono, it being very chilly in this room, in the middle of his incantation, lets out a small sneeze, and unfortunately the firebolt does not fly straight and instead bursts off to the side, and you just hear him say, "Oh, beans!" as he tries to ready another action, but he does not have the ability to cast another one. That brings us back to Miris. Miris, at the beginning of your turn, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, as the cold is beginning to set in harder than before.
Please hurry up and kill that thing.
Miris, you will succeed. You take 10 cold damage.
What?
Oh no.
Oh, no.
As you're
What is
within the range of the range of the cold that surrounds the arcane conduit.
Okay.
I got you.
Not down, are you?
No, I have 10 HP left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was just half.
Yeah. Yeah, you took half damage.
Yeah.
Half of your damage.
Reversing your movement, if you went backwards the way you did to get there, you would be able to move 5 feet closer, attack, and then move 25 feet back out, which would pull you out of the range at the end of the round. So, or at the end of your turn, I should say. Just for looking at it from the big picture of Miris, I should say.
Yeah, I was probably going to do that, so... Okay, green flame blade again.
So, looks like you targeted yourself for the attack, but 13 will hit,
whoops.
so you can roll for damage. I just want to apply it to your character for the sake of, it's
How
not,
do you
it's not
how do you know
it's
that-
being targeted.
How do you know that wasn't his plan?
It's actually his pact magic kicking in.
Yeah. Against him. This is not your place. Alright. So 2 fire damage and 6 piercing.
Here.
All right.
Not good.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
Yeah.
Alright, so you hit it with your green flame blade, once again causing this arc of fire to form like for maybe a couple of seconds, a ring that encapsulates the arcane conduit. You feel the fire damage take hold, leaving remnants of its traces as it disappears. I'm assuming you're going to use your Swift Fire Dagger.
Yes, I am.
Go for it. All right, as you go in for that dagger attack, you slice into the arcane conduit, but you see that your attack itself doesn't seem to make the purchase you were hoping for, and it doesn't seem to take any damage from it. That would be a miss, unfortunately.
Okay.
Struggling to hit an inanimate object.
It has an AC. The AC is not high, but it is
I know.
just high enough that we've had a couple misses.
It's just funny. Just to think about that, like especially with oh no. Oh damn it, I missed.
Yep, and then I moved the heck out of there.
Fair. All right. That'll bring us to Matra, who is rather close to Hedrun. Let me just take a look at something quick. She has 1 spell left.
Is it power word kill? We might need it.
It is not, unfortunately. I had to look at the spell Thunderstep, and it's a willing creature. I was like, she could just zippity zap Hedrun over to Athros, but it would not work. She is going to, with her last spell slot, no, she's not going to. That won't help Spit. She's going to take. Well, first off, she has to make her con save. But then she's going to take a few steps back. She will fail this time, taking the full damage that she would take. And yeah, she's going to take a few steps back. Unfortunately, isolating her and Spit from the rest of the party. But getting out of that frosty veil, she's going to fire off 2 Eldritch Blasts at Hedrun. Yelling out, "Just hang on, Big Toon!" Oh, come on, girl. That's going to be a miss with the first one. As Hedrun just, menacingly continues walking towards the 2 of them, you watch as, the Eldritch Blast just, dissipates around her body. Roll number 2. Oh, my God! She rolled a 6 and an 8.
I mean, in fairness, she's probably very terrified. So, I guess that kind of makes sense.
As the second one, her attacks are, not doing the damage. They'll just, be redirected around her as she continues to walk forward towards Matra and Spit. That is all she can do on her turn. God damn. That brings us to Irini, who has to make a con save. Because she's in the veil. Oh, wait, this is a magical effect. She would have advantage on this. Which, I mean, I guess it didn't matter. She succeeded either way. I don't know why I had to roll it twice. But she will take half damage. And she's going to, continuing to try and break an opening inside the arcane conduit to try and help the party as much as possible. This thing's still looking rather healthy for an inanimate object. She's going to use Dispel Magic again to try and push through to the push through the veil of arcane energy surrounding it. That'll be her last 3rd level spell slot. She's trying to help in any way she can, and this seems to be the best way, since command ain't gonna do anything. And Hideous Laughter, it doesn't speak a language, and doesn't have a sense of humor for that matter. So this is like the best spell she has that she can use right now. Yeah, so she has to spend that, and then roll for it. Come on, girl. There you go. Okay, sweet. As you would watch as like while Arena's slowly being coated in this like layer of ice, pushing up from her fingers and slowly covering like various parts of her skin. You see that like almost as if ripping a tear in like the fabric of the arcane that surrounds this thing. You see a momentary period of weakness appear. The veil that is surrounding this thing temporarily disappears, and she looks to you, Ibrin, feeling as though some of your stuff that maybe couldn't work before might work now. She says, "Now's your chance!" As she stays where she is to like hold that in place. For the next round with the arcane conduit, anybody within 20 feet will not have to roll con saves, and it is not immune to psychic damage.
Ooh.
And that's going to be her
Nice.
turn as she maintains that level of arcane, like... She's essentially, like, holding herself in place to keep this moment of weakness from, like, disappearing at the end of her turn. She sacrifices her movement to hold it open. So, she gives you an opportunity you did not have before. Alright, that brings us to the Shield Guardian, who has to... He's going to make a strength check to pull his fist that was lodged in the ground out. It should not be hard, but I have to roll it anyway. What was... God damn it. He didn't... I did not set the bar very high for this one. He did not crit fail, and that is truly what mattered. As he slowly pulls his fist, like knocking some stone out of the way, leaving this giant like mark in the ground with cracks going about the stone and ice. He's going to once again with destroy that EXE on his brain. First off, make a con save because he's within the 20 feet. But again, he has a really good... Oh, that was almost a 2. He succeeds once again, taking 10 damage, recovering 10 damage as he moves forward to attack Hedrun. Even though you are unconscious, it still follows the commands that were given, as you are still wearing the amulet and you are not dead. Going in for a fist attack. Is gonna hit, roll some damage. Not what I was hoping, but still a decent chunk. And he makes one more fist attack. Very nice, still hits. Does not crit though, but that's okay. Much better damage that time, as he brings his fists down, pummeling her. The first one smacking her like across where like Spit's arrow was, knocking the arrow loose, but damaging like her arm. She begins to turn around and she's just like decked in the face by the Shield Guardian that just towers over her. that will be the Spirit Guardian's turn. At the end of its turn, Hedrun is going to take her legendary action. And she's going to... Let's see. She's going to cast at 4th level another Splintering Shards. Being irritated by this golem continuing to deck her, she's going to turn, look at the thing, and say, "Die, you coward!" And just like blast it with a ball of splintering icy energy. And that will be... It has to make a dex save. It has a very bad dex score. Will fail. It will take the full force of that. It does not have resistance to cold damage. As like an icy, as the splintering shards of ice shoot out and like jut into like the sides of the iron armor and like into some of its critical areas, you see that the Shield Guardian seems to be a bit worse for wear at this point, but it is still standing, still in its endless pursuit to attack Hedrun. She did not use it to teleport away this time. That'll bring us to your turn, Aethros.
I will cast Aura of Vitality. Action. Bonus action. Use it to heal Victoon 2d6.
Okay. As you... Okay, perfect. Big Tune, floating in this icy layer of, for you, what was a abyss of darkness as your body begins to drop, or slowly, like, to, seeing the light at the end of the tunnel ever so slowly. You feel, once again, that consciousness that you had get pulled back into your body. As you open your eyes, you see a sheet of ice that is currently coating your form. Given that you were an ice sculpture, you are alive. You are back at 7 HP. I will say, for you to regain your ability to move and take actions, you will have to make a strength check to break the icy layer that surrounds you. But you are alive, and you could do things when it's your turn this time.
Sweet. Once my computer finishes updating, I'd love to.
Oh, word.
And for my movement, can move 30 feet.
Okay.
End of my turn, gain temp HP.
Okay.
And that's it.
For a nice 8 temp. Awesome. That brings us to Hedrun. Who is going to... She is going to... Where she is at... Seeing the Shield Guardian still alive, she's going to turn her attention over to Spit and to Matra. Spit, barely hanging on, the cold, like starting to like frostbite parts of his skin. Matra, injured but still hanging in there. She's going to look at... We're going to, because she does not like either of them, considering she bargained for both of them, and the party did not take either bargain. They are both prime targets to her. For different, similar yet different reasons. Let's see who she targets. She's going to look at Matra, and with a single finger pointed outward, she's going to just utter some words. I've taken the oldest. I'm taking the middle child, and the youngest shall be no more. And she's going to point her finger and cast Blight at Matra. Burning, I believe, her last available 4th level slot that she has. Alright, and Matra has to make a con save. Oh no. Matra rolled a 6. Not great. What's our damage? Okay. You all watch as the finger points out, this wave of necrotic energy in a small, like almost like slithering beam fires forth and hits Matra square in the chest. And you watch as this necrosis kind of overtakes her body. Matra, with like her last moments of consciousness, looks over at you, Athros, and just like gives you this look of like determination, like at you, but a look of fear, like quickly overtakes that as she begins to fall over onto the ground. Matra is currently technically on the ground, bleeding out. She will have to make death saves, but she is at 0. She's down. She's not dead. Don't listen to the dead phrase. And she's staying with the Spirit Guardian, but she's going to, with her icy energy from the staff that she normally carries, pull out or create another lance and fire it at Spit. Because she can. That will hit. What kind of damage do we got? Athros, watching Matra go down, you see her firing out this other lance. You see Spit readying to try and like fix his bow that string had snapped the turn before. Get hit with this lance square in the chest. And you watch as Spit falls to the ground and is also bleeding out on the ground. Spit is down. So Matra and Spit are both down right now. Watching this happen, Athros, it fills you with, I would hope, emotions of some sort. Particularly Spit going down. I will give you a DM's advantage on either in the next attack roll, ability check, save that you would have to make on your turn.
Alright.
Victoon, you make a strength check for me.
Yes. I literally got in about 60 seconds ago.
That's impressive. I can assure you the check to break free of this thin layer of ice is not very high. But that does not mean much with how the rolls have been today. You are able to break free out of this layer of ice that like coats you. You watch as like a very interesting looking Leonin shaped like half of the icy figure falls forward onto the ground and shatters. As you look across the battlefield, you watch the remnants of Hedrun's attack. Particularly, you would break free as the lance hits Spit, and he falls to the ground and starts bleeding out. I will also give you a DM's advantage roll. So,
cool.
Next attack roll, ability check, or save that you have to make.
Alright. Well, before I forget, I'm going to go ahead and use my second wind.
Smart. I forgot you had that.
Yeah. Anything helps.
This is true.
That. No, it did not. What was it? 9. Oh, double digits? No way.
How long has it been since you had that, huh?
I don't know. Last week.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh.
I will say too, Aethros in particular, as you've been trying to chase down Hedrun, you notice that she didn't recover this last round.
Oh.
You're not sure why, given that I don't think the party communicated what they were doing, but you see that she did not recover health this turn.
Yeah, then how big is the radius of her
20,
here?
20 feet if you start your turn there.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I guess for the time being here, I'm gonna stay out of that range for now, actually, because I can't reach her nicely. Is this? Oops. Is this like a drop?
It is a drop, correct.
Okay. Make sure I don't try to walk over it. I'm going to, yep, right. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to go here first, and then slide over 10 feet for the rest of my 35, so I can at least fire off Firebolt.
Go for it. Still getting accustomed to moving this turn. You utter out your incantation and you fire it off, and you like misspeak one of the words with a slight shiver in your tone as you're moving, and it does in fact fly a little wide, missing Hedrun.
That advantage for the spit thing, is that only going to be for this turn?
It would
or
be
is that
for
something I
it.
I mean, I don't care. I'll just use it then.
It would be for this turn, yeah.
Okay, then I'll just re-attack.
Of course.
At least that wasn't a 1, I guess.
There are way to look at it optimistically, but it does fly a bit wide as you're uttering out your incantations.
To be well, okay. Check something. Oh, never mind. Okay, yep. Yeah, that's all I got then, I guess.
We'll give you temp HP under your turn.
Yes. Go for it. Very nice, solid 10.
Is Matra within his thing? I know she's down, but can
Nope.
you still give her
They're real far away.
Oh.
They were kind of getting
Yeah.
pushed back to stay out of the veil of cold that
Yeah.
Hedrun emanates.
Yeah. When I said we should kite them back to the other party, I wasn't kidding with how far they're running.
Okay, I wanted to make sure you gave yourself the 10. That'll bring us to Ibrin. You have a moment of opportunity created by Irini holding open this like arcane veil with her dispel magic.
Well, let's go blasting. Still doesn't let me target the sphere.
That's so weird.
Just letting you know.
I appreciate that. I can target it. I don't know why you can't target it, but that's okay. I'll manually add the damage. Don't worry.
I'm gonna be a little bit ballsy and do a sharpshooter.
That's gonna hit. Go ahead and roll your damage, sir. Irini is within 5 feet.
Wow, that was a solid roll.
Very nice. As you fire off that psychic blast, that arrow shooting out from your arcane bow, you see it take full effect, and it ripples. With that arcane veil being gone, it like ripples across the surface of the arcane conduit, and you see small crackles of lightning beginning to form in its location. It looks like it's getting down there as far as enough damage to break it. You feel your attack was fully effective.
Well, let's reload and hit it again. Same thing, sharpshooter.
15 is going to hit. Go ahead and roll more damage, sir.
Does not ever want to remember the +2, so I just have to type it in.
Alright, so... Alright, for a solid 21. Fuck.
Brag, damn it, brag!
Firing off your 2 arrows, you feel that you can this time feel the waves of arcane energy that are coming off of the arcane conduit itself. It becomes more and more unstable as the lightning grows thicker. The arcane energy it's giving off starting to seep out versus make its way towards the ritual chamber where Hedrun and the rest of the party are. You feel it's not going to take much for it to drop.
I'm just gonna take like 10 steps, 15 steps back a little bit, just in case. But can't do anything else. So I end my turn. Maybe shoot a message over. The thing's almost broke. Hopefully Ono can finish it off here shortly.
Sweet.
Spit has to roll a death save. Alright, Spit has 1 success. As he's just bleeding out, garbling nonsense, a bit of blood spittling out from his mouth. That brings us to Ono. Ono is going to make an Arcana check quick. Because I feel that is something he would do at this time, seeing how unstable it's growing. God, even with a single-digit roll, he still gets a 15. He is a wizard. He literally is a wizard. What am I talking about? Ono looks at the arcane conduit, sees Irini like holding open this veil. Something doesn't feel right, guys. It's growing really unstable. I have a feeling it might explode.
I have that same feeling as well.
Ono's fear. Hold on, let me do a general. It's gonna be a general intelligence check for Ono. You would see that he Ibrin, I want you to make a perception check first off, and then you would see that Ono gets ready to summon a firebolt, but he doesn't fire it, and he holds back. I gotta make sure our family stays safe. I can't be the one to finish it off. As he
We ain't got time for this. You need to hit it.
As Ibrin, as you're like seeing Ono say, you see him say this, and you see him summon this bolt of fiery energy. You see that he seems to almost have like a ripple of arcane energy around himself too. It seems that some of the arcane energy that's being poured out of the conduit, some of it seems to almost be seeping into him. Not in a malicious way, like what you would anticipate with this much raw energy, but you see like his eyes have a small crackle of arcane about them too. Something feels off, but you don't know what you don't know what exactly it is, but something seems to have changed about Ono.
Ono, buddy. How you doing?
I need to make sure my family stays safe.
Your family will be safe if you finish it.
Miris, finish it off! As he, while
You too.
you trying to talk him into doing it, he seems worried. And he yells to Miris, who's like, I guess doesn't have to yell. Miris is right next to him. Miris, finish it off. Now's our chance. As Ono's gonna hold his action. That brings us to you, Miris.
Okay.
The window of opportunity is still there.
Okay, I'm gonna run up next to the sphere. And yeah, just going to go ahead and use Green Flame Blade again.
Go for it. As you go in for your Green Flame Blade attack, even though this window of opportunity is here, make your attack with advantage. So roll another Green Flame Blade.
Okay.
Irini holding the arcane power back. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Oh wait, I think your other one ended up hitting anyway. I forgot you targeted yourself, so I saw the red and I was like, ah! But I forgot you guys can't target it. Your attack will hit with either of them, the 13 or the 15. So, go ahead and roll for damage, sir. Okay. Mirror slicing with this arcane attack. You see it, the cracks that have been forming, the arcane power that's seeping out of this thing is almost overpowering as you bring your Green Flame Blade across for this third time creating that arc. It cracks the entire layer around it where the fire wrapped around, forming this like cracked, almost like disassembled ring. You see that shards of it begin to fly off of the surface and kind of like hover there with an eerie levitation. The lightning bouncing between it and the arcane conduit itself. It is still there, but it is barely hanging on. You feel that even the slightest attack might take it out.
Okay, I'm going to follow it up with my Dagger Swiftfire then.
Go for it. Alright. Go ahead and roll for damage. That's definitely going to hit. Okay, Miris. How do you want to do this? It had 2 HP left. So,
I guess I'll stab the dagger into the sphere as hard as I can, and and I guess I don't know how I do the rest of it.
that's fair. That's fair. In fairness, you're fighting an inanimate object, so
Yeah,
I
she's a
understand.
giant frog.
He heroically grabs his dagger, both hands stabs into it.
All right. want you, Miris. Because the other two people are not here, and I'm playing NPCs. Miris and Ibrin, make a perception check once again. Ibrin, make yours with advantage because you've been suspecting the possible inevitable. Okay, that is enough. Miris, as you go in for your final strike, you bringing the dagger into like one final like piece that has like a large crack that is formed from one of your attacks that you made. You stab as deep into the arcane conduit as you can, and you see that the magic itself for a moment disappears and then resurges back into the arcane conduit, and you feel an overwhelming force as the arcane energy that has been pooling and being pulled from various sources, as well as now being pulled from the ritual chamber, shoots back into this room and lets itself out in a fiery arcane explosion. Let's see. I think everyone's in range. Yes, it's a 60-foot radius. Okay. So, I need...
Okay, dodge.
Well, it's a saving throw, not an attack. Nice try. But, I understand. It will be a dexterity saving throw. Something tells me it probably won't matter, because I don't think any of you have enough health. But, I want you to make the saving throw anyway, to see your dexterous selves.
Oh,
Ian with
There we go.
Nat 20.
Hey guys!
Oh
we
my
did-
god! Fuck! Well, now I gotta see if the chain continues.
I feel like if Irini also gets it, then everybody's safe. And it takes no damage.
We all get
Oop.
thrown
She
to the
did not.
wall, temporarily unconscious.
And Ono also has to make one.
Can I take my health potion real quick?
You're a funny guy.
I try to be. Find all the good gifts, you know.
Oh wait, that was an ability check, not a saving throw. What does he get for saving throws? Oh, it's the same. Okay, so it would be the same roll. Never mind. Okay. As this arcane blast shoots out at the party, you would, Ibrin, you in particular would see, oh no, the arcane power that's been surging kind of into him. You see he tries to use this moment. I want, it'd be Ian and Jonathan to join me on the individual moments channel for a second.
What?
Oh boy.
Discord, interesting.
This is where they get teleported over here.
Gotta find my music.
Yeah, that or
Or they die.
yeah, this is where Ono dies.
Yeah.
All right, I will be back.
Have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
As this arcane blast shoots out from the center of this core, the two of you see, well, Ibrin in particular, you see Ono almost veil himself trying to harness some of that arcane energy. And you find the be you, Irini, and Miris, all three of you, since you're all telepathically connected and you are all in this close a proximity with each other, and Ono's genuine concern for his family, you almost find yourself, like, you find yourself pulled mentally what feels like into Ono. And as you look around as this is happening, you feel as though time is at a standstill. Externally, this will happen in a matter of moments. Internally, you find yourself traversing what looks to be, standing in the center of a city street. You look around, you see that the city street wraps from all the way to the left, up over the top, like up into the sky, and then around across to the right. You see people of various races, or like figures that have the faint appearance of various races, walking through these streets. One of them literally phases right through you, Miris, as like it's a gnome of some sort. Like his image appears to be a projection of Ono's psyche as they walk through you, continuing about their movements. Ono, originally facing away from the three of you, would turn to face you. You see a tear like roll down his eyes as he begins to talk. I think with this arcane energy, I have enough power. I feel something different, something changed about me when we entered this chamber. This power source opened something I didn't know I had. Or maybe I knew I had, and I just I didn't know how to use it. But I can save you from what's about to come. The damage from this blast it'll kill all of us. But it doesn't have to be that way. And his voice starts to crack. You all know me. My family is the most important thing to me. And all of you, the broken, Spit and Athros and Kitty and all of you. And right now they need you more than they need me. More than I need them right now. I'm going to send you as close to them as I can. The power that can help awaken this arcane source. I feel powerful right now, and I haven't felt that way. I've never felt this strong. But it's a choice. I either send myself or I send all of you. And I think all of you can help them a lot more than I can. And he would look to Irini. Just when you get out of here, write an Irini style song and dance about me. And he would look to Miris and Ibrin. You would have a moment to speak.
Ibrin would, are you sure about this?
I think there's a book out there that I read once. It said something like, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. And our family needs you. It can't end here for all of us.
A little choking up, he would be like, well, is there anything you want me to tell the other guys? Or anything you want me to give them? Or anything you want to give us?
I am. Well, and he pats himself down, and you look at yourself and him, and you see that being inside his psyche, you don't have your physical items with you right now. If I could give you something, I would. Just don't let this happen to anyone else. protect our family at all costs. Do what you can to carry on my name. And try not to let death take Big Tune in the the deck of cards. I love you guys.
If able, Ebron would walk up and kind of go down on a knee and give him a hug.
And he would embrace you. You would see like the tears that had been like building up in his eyes begin to roll down a bit more heavily. Get on your leathery armor that you wear, like in this ethereal, psyche-esque state. Give it your best, and take her down. Not just Hedrun, but Oral too. Explore the world. Get out of here. Maybe one day find the Thousand Hands merchants and tell them my story.
We will. And we'll definitely meet again.
I hope so.
If you see anybody we've met along the way, tell them we say hi.
I will. And he would look to you, Miris. Miris, it's up to you to bring about the magic knowledge now. Lord knows or whatever's out there, I can't be on this last moment here. Make us proud.
I'll definitely try my best, and I'll never forget about you.
I know. And like, as you, Ebron, you take your like couple steps back, you would see the wave of arcane that Ono has been harnessing. His body begin to glow, a brighter white color that eventually becomes that of like a prismatic glow. As you would return to the, as your minds are pulled back to your physical forms, the explosion moving slowly, almost as if in slow motion. You see Ono utter an incantation and wrap his hands in the arcane glow, and almost as if plucking at the threads of the arcane from directly from the weave. You would, each of you, the three of you, Irini, Miris, and Ono. Not Ono, sorry. Irini, Miris, and Ebron. All three of you would feel yourself almost as if by the back of your collars of your the coats or cloaks that you wear get pulled through a doorway. Ono, harnessing his boon, now awakened from this arcane conduit. He pulls you through the doorway and is going to send you as far as he can across the Ziggurat, where he will and you would watch as the doorway behind him, or in front of you, closes as you're pulled backwards inside. You would see the arcane conduit's full force hit him and take him out of eyesight, destroying the chamber as it begins to collapse, the explosion leaving nothing that you remember. Nothing on all the ground, the roof, the walls, everything crumbling to bits as Ono gets blasted out of your eyesight from the explosion. With one final telepathic message before succumbing to the wounds that he will acquire, you and the rest of the party will hear too. One last time, I love my family. Before your connection to him is severed. So before I move myself back to feed the rest of the party, I'm gonna move your tokens to where he would have moved you to.
Are we still saying in the same combat order then? Because if I can get a move in a preference location, I definitely want to pop up right behind her and stab the shit out of her with my mom's daggers.
I would say...
I don't know how cinematic you want to make this.
I'm going to say we will have you reroll initiative when you get over there. Because he's pulling you as far as he can, and I know where he's going to send you, so it'll be close, but it won't be like right behind her. But you'll be close. As we can return to the general chat. As okay, is everybody back? Okay, perfect. Everybody is back. As you as everybody in the party would one final time hear Ono utter out telepathically to those of you he's connected to, "I love my family." And an audible explosion coming from somewhere else in the Ziggurat. Athros, I would say... Oh, you and Bictune. You would see the members, several members of the party begin to appear through some form of... almost as if being pulled through a dimensional doorway. You recognize this as Ono's boon. As he pulls the three of them through the doorway to the other side of the Ziggurat. The rest of you, those of you who just appeared, would see Ibrin. You find yourself reappearing, standing over a downed Matra at this time, and you look and you see spit also bleeding out on the ground. As Hedrun is being attacked by the Spirit Guardian, not Spirit Guardian, the Shield Guardian, and Athros and Bictune are behind her, standing on a slightly elevated platform. I gotta put my music back on. But you would all feel your connection to Ono disappear.
You might as well just post that in general chat.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Miras, I'm going to... So you're going to... Miras, Ibrin, and Irini are going to reroll their initiatives.
I didn't even read it. I'm hoping it's good.
Ibrin, you can reroll whenever you're ready. There you go.
It wasn't letting me.
Oh my god. Hold on here. Ibrin, technically, I'm just saying it because this is something you might exploit, but technically initiative rolls are an ability check. They're a dexterity check. You could use your side bolstered knack on that.
Man.
Because if enhance ability works on it, so does this shit. So that would boost you by an additional 3, which would put you... It would put you right before Hedrun.
Not too bad though, Ben.
Okay, I gotta put my music back where it was so I can keep an eye on my shit. Okay.
But isn't that gonna screw up the rest of our turns now? Like
There
before
is-
you get skipped, or are you gonna
So-
just start from the top? Or
We would start back at the top.
okay,
Because Ono is not like Ono. It would have been during. Ono would have used this thing on turn. We're starting back at the top of the initiative round. Sorry,
okay.
I gotta. You heard a lot of digging. I'm sorry.
It's a shame that both those guys were down because we really missed out on the opportunity for Ibrin to be like, Matra, spit on your left.
You can still say that. They're just taking a nap. They're
Matra
pretending to
has
sleep.
one failed death save. That brings us to Irini, who, seeing Spit down and seeing Matra down, and the most recent loss of Ono, is going to turn to Hedrun Anyway, she's going to turn to
720.
Hedrun. And most likely some tears in her eyes, because that catches me as a connection thing.
Big Bang attack?
She's going to... all of those are wisdom saves. That sucks. She's going to cast, I think, Hold Person to try and keep Hedrun in place. Like, she has 2 second-level spell slots left, and no more Dispel Magic or third levels. She's going to try to keep Hedrun in place. She's going to cast...
Hedrun doesn't have anything metal that she could do, like heat metal, right?
She does not. It's all, like, furs.
Okay.
Command is wisdom based then.
Yeah, they both are. So it's like, why not hit with one that can cause critical hit damage on every strike versus cause her to just stand still for a round. Oh my god. Oh wait. Well, fuck. She rolled a 9. I'm like, that's super exciting, but she has bonuses that didn't get factored in yet. Hedrun, for a brief second, you see you would see the Hold Person from Irini take hold before she's able to break it free. However, all of you would notice that as the Arcane Conduit disappears, you see that a lot of her other abilities seem to disappear as well. She seems to be much more akin to that of a standard druid than what she was before. A lot of the extra magic no longer being seeped into her, as the arcane veil that has been emanating throughout this chamber and radiating has come to a fleeting halt. That is... Irini's not going to get too close, but she's more focused on trying to... She's going to... Oh, wait, no, she spent her action to cast Hold Person. She's going to utter a little ditty and give Bictune Inspiration, which is an extra D8 whenever you need to use it.
Sweet.
Shield Guardian, having no idea the trauma that some of the party members have just experienced, is going to continue to try and smash. I would say too, as the Arcane Conduit was destroyed, her veil has dropped. So there's no more within 20 feet cold damage. Which means it just gets to recover 10 health. No extra things has to be rolled. And it's gonna smash.exe. First one will still miss. And rolls a second one. Second one will hit. Yay, damage. Oh, I targeted myself. Shit. Alright, for another... Okay, so the... Okay, and Shield Guardian is going to stay exactly where he is, going for the smashies. That'll bring us to Athros.
Alright, I will fly up 30 feet and attack Hedrun with my hammer. I got to target her first. And then I still have the advantage that you gave me a while ago at this point. Oh, love to see
Hey, oh.
She is going to Silvery Barbs you.
that. Okay. So the lower of the two is the 9.
The 9, yeah.
Silvery Barb's a reroll, I thought.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
It would be a reroll.
Or roll one more? No.
Just re-crit.
so that's a beautiful 7.
Fuck. Okay. Yeah, that'll hit.
Alright, so then damage. Normal.
Solid 18 as you go in with your hammer, leaving a nice imprint on her furry armor that she wears.
And then bonus action to the spirit vision.
Okay. And she has to make a
Wisdom DC 16, I believe.
Okay.
My DC.
All right. She's going to. She just succeeds. She rolled a 16.
You gonna silvery barb that?
Oh, fuck yeah. That is not gonna succeed.
Ooh.
All right, Athros. So you go in, a fiery rage, watching people go down. The last words of "Oh no" that you hear before it disappears, fresh in your brain, and you swing, Spirit Breaker at Hedrun. You make a hard contact at the center of her chest, and you utter out the incantation you need. And as part of the attack, you try to eject her spirit from the body of Atina, and are successful. And you watch as the icy form of Hedrun that has been plaguing you for this entire encounter, but also for a large portion of the last several, I would say probably the last week, more than that, last couple weeks of your journeys here in the north. You watch as that icy shell shatters, leaving Atina's body and a spirit of Hedrun hovering outside. Give me 2 seconds.
I forgot that it was Atina's body.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna do some things to like desecrate the corpse, but then I just realized that'd just be Atina.
She's not dead, she's just unconscious.
Yeah.
She would not have to roll desert. She's stabilized already. So she's unconscious, just I'm gonna put a little she's okay. And then I need to get, where are you? As the spirit of Hedrun now is ejected and hovers above the fallen body of Atina on the ground. You would just hear her utter out this audible shriek, "No!" That, like, wails in the back of everyone's, wails into everyone's minds, not doing any damage, but just an audible frustration.
I send back into her mind. Tee.
All right. The spirit is ejected, and the fight has become what I assume to be significantly easier.
Mm-hmm.
Is she corporeal or like does she look pretty solid, or is it like
It's
like a ghost?
It's like a ghost that you fought before. She's not like, she's physically like, because ghosts can traverse between this and the ethereal. She's physically
Right.
here, so you could damage
Okay.
her.
okay? Yeah, that's
All
right.
right.
Then, end of my turn, I want to reroll my temp HP. Hopefully it's been a little better. Nope, still the same. Okay.
Okay. All right. That'll bring us to Sephic's dead. That'll bring us to Miris. Miris, you watch as as you would appear, Athros, seizing this opportunity, runs up and ejects the spirit of Hedrun from Atina's body, leaving the unconscious elf to fall to the ground, and the spirit of Hedrun now hovering next to her.
the ghost does not appear to have an initiative. I don't know if you have to re-roll it.
It's going to be at the end of the round, if
Okay.
if she survives that long.
Right.
Okay, I will move up just a little bit. And then, yeah, I think I'll target the ghost using Chill Touch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go for it. 15 will hit. Go ahead and roll for damage. All right, for 12. As while most ghosts aren't affected by necrotic energy, you see that this form, this Hedrun, being freshly ejected from her host, seems to still be just as vulnerable as anybody else would be to that necrotic energy.
Okay, and that's going to be it for my turn.
All right. Ebrin, that brings us to you.
That's a great question. Who's the one dead over there?
Though
They'll be fine.
That they're not actually dead. It's a Tina. She's unconscious on the ground, but she's an NPC, so she doesn't just fall unconscious. So.
Okay.
No, she's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go blasting.
You would have advantage because of the Shield Guardian.
I was trying to use the shortcut. Give me a sec.
It's okay.
Click the wrong one. Ooh. Make a normal attack. Wow, that's
Still gonna hit.
I use the Bardic Wow, it does. Interesting.
Yeah. Ghosts do not have very high AC.
Mm-hmm. Not like they're wearing armor. There's ghosts.
Alright, firing off your first bolt or your first blast of psychic energy. You see it hit the ghost, or the ghost of Hedrun, and ripple across her form, it becoming more and more unstable. She looks down at you, Ebrin, as you're readying what I assume to be your second attack, and just under, like, in a low growl, just says, "You."
What's up, bitch? Sharpshooter. With the negative on it, too.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll for damage.
So, that's the
So, oh, right.
plus
So,
10,
yeah, so
plus...
yeah, whatever your max die
It's
rolls.
gonna be D6 plus 22, I want to say.
D4, because your second attack has a lower height.
Oh, that's right.
So it'd be
2?
yes, I think.
Yeah.
Does it double the sharpshooter bonus?
Nope. Just the dice.
Oh, okay.
No, that's why it's great to use for like smites and stuff like that.
Right, right.
So what's the additional bonus, then?
Oh, it would be, so it's your max die roll, so it would be an additional +4.
So it would be 8.
Okay, plus the so add that as your situational, and then roll for damage. I have a feeling that it might not matter in the good way, but we'll see. Okay,
No,
Ebrin.
it shouldn't be +8. It should just be +4 at the end.
Oh no, right, you're right. I calculated twice. So it's a full roll. It's a full die size. So 4 plus your situational. If you crit on the sneak attack one, it would have been like 4 plus the sneak attack max plus the rolled die. In this instance, it does not matter. Ebrin, how do you want to do this?
Damn, Big Toon really wanted that.
I'm sure you did.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at her straight in the face, be like, "This is for Ono," and then shoot her right between the eyes.
You pull back your bow, your arrow, and just in a serious tone, the level of severity of this combat that has taken its toll on the party. Just, this is for Ono. And just fire off a final shot, and your psychic arrow planting itself square in the head of this spirit before dissipating. You hear the loudest, most audible screech as her form begins to dissipate. The ritual stopped. Hedrun disappearing into the ethereal permanently. You watch as the room goes silent. The ritual stopped. The vibrating on the floor no longer. Looking across the room to where Ziena has been up in the air for as part of this ritual for so long, is now unconscious, laying on the pedestal that she had been chained or arcane chained to. You guys fucking killed Hedrun.
Mm-hmm.
You did it.
Can I run over to Matra and Fit and use my word of vitality to pick him up and then maybe
All right.
what's her face? Yeah, Athena.
Yeah, I would like to go over that way too.
Okay.
We killed her, but we still got a handful of people that need help.
True.
Yeah.
Combat
I want everyone to die.
Combat is officially over. So yeah, feel free to make your way to wherever you want to go.
Temporarily. So Aethros chooses a spot.
Yeah, so
that'll be
Matra
next
first, I
then.
guess.
All right.
I don't know if you are still going to make them do saving throws.
They would. I mean, they would be able. They would make them, but by the time you got over there, if your focus was, I have to make sure that they don't die, you would be over there
Yeah.
fast enough before they'd roll their last one. So like, it won't matter.
Okay. So Matra first. 5, Fit. 4, and then Athena. Can't get her picked up. And I think I still would have 6 more, or no, 5 more uses of this. I'll give 3 another round of healing. So that's Matra, another 6. Bit, just in case I don't want taking more damage. Spit another 6. Athena. And then also give him temp HP from my Twilight's Blessing. I can heal people, that's the one thing I can do. So, Matra, 10, Spit, 12, Athena, 8.
Could I get some of that on my turn?
I suppose.
Well, let's say I can give you my healing potion. I have a healing potion.
We might want to
11.
save that.
I was gonna say, if we're out of combat, can I actually have to read something.
I gotta change to
Alright.
less intensive music for a second. So yeah, that's fine.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. So
Go ahead.
what's the situation here? What's going on? Like, do we feel like we're done?
I mean, can we go talk to Ziena? Where's Ono?
Well,
He just in the other room?
yeah.
I'll while we're doing that here, I'm gonna use my second wind for the first time.
Go for it.
There you go.
Ooh. That's nice.
But I guess that's more of a question for Dakota. Or do we get the impression that we're done?
You would get the impression based off of the silence in the room, the vibrations from the ritual being thwarted, Hedrun being gone, Ziena no longer being bound by the arcane chains. You feel that you succeeded in your mission, and you, after healing the rest of the party to at least get them all standing, not losing anybody in this room, you don't feel any hostile presences making a resurgence. You feel as though you might be done.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, then as soon as Aethros is done healing everybody, I tap him on the shoulder, and I I
Hold on, I gotta make a wisdom save, I think. With disadvantage, maybe?
looked the wrong way.
I mean, I succeeded in what I want to believe, I think.
Dang, even with disadvantage, you still got a 20. That's insane to me.
Yeah.
Either way, well, I guess this. I don't.
I mean, we could check on Deanna. The
I
deck's still gonna be there.
no.
Also, remember there's like cool stuff in that other room?
Just hang on. Just for the sake of ease of this, I think. Let me see if this works. Yes. Okay, so when I say I hand things to you, I'm putting them inside the ship so you can actually put them in your inventory.
Okay.
So I take off my shield. I take off my bracer that was attached to the shield. And I hand you the deck and the bracer. And then I walk away. I start walking back towards the ship. Let's put it that way. I'm not necessarily implying that I'm going to disappear. I'm just Victoon's entire life mission was just fulfilled at this point. He needs a little bit of alone time at the very least. And
A big old tankard of milk.
I mean, I got that curdled milk. I really wanted to use that before I realized that she was not going to have a corporeal body. I was going to literally desecrate her corpse by drinking that curdled milk and then vomiting and shitting all over her.
That checks out. That checks out.
But yeah, so I'm gonna start headed towards the towards the ship.
Okay.
Or at least towards the entrance anyway.
Right. So as the party's regathering themselves, you would see too that Matra and Atina, really without barely even like greeting each other, their focus seems to be on checking on Ziena, and they would head into the chamber where Ziena was to go and see, like, head deeper inside to go and retrieve her. And within, I would say, probably about 2 or so minutes, as the party's like collecting their thoughts and be like, where's Ono? And like, you know, recuperating together for this brief period. The 3 of them together would return to the party.
Yeah, I did that wordlessly, by the way, just for what it's worth.
Can I look at the deck like, do I draw cards? Do I not draw cards? I look back at you like, where's he going? Where's Ono?
Yeah, I have not made eye contact either.
I was gonna say, as soon as the death blow happens, I would help Matra get up, help her go to her sister, and then I would like to actually roll an investigation check.
Because I knew too that Ono was dead, and him being one of my 2 best friends.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an investigation, Ebrin.
I was trying to see what's all in this room, if there's anything Hedrun left behind, if there's any documents, notes, anything like that.
Okay. As you just take a moment and begin like looking through the various small sections of this chamber, you would find a chest not very far away. Inside you would find some scripts of like maybe some unfinished like incantations that were written, and then like the text itself being almost like an arcane blue. You see that there's it looks to be various failed attempts at trying this ritual. And you would find the equivalent in sapphires and emeralds of about 450 gold pieces, them being rather small but rather good condition stones. And you would see a large, well, not large, a standard sized, so like probably about 5.5 foot tall a staff very similar to what Hedrun had on her person, made out of charlatan, that shattered when she shattered. This one being made out of some form of arcane crystal. Not charlatan itself, you can tell that much, it doesn't give off that hostile nature, but some form of rather powerful channeling conduit. Overall makeup seems to be similar to the arcane conduit you had encountered before. Miris, as you are with the party, you feel that burning sensation on your hand once more, and as if almost on cue, you extend your, like, you turn, you look down at the top of your hand, the pulsation of your patron's symbol, and you flip your hand over, and you see, almost as if a reverse burning appearing out of, like, almost thin air, similar to when you had stopped the ritual below Brinchander. Another page appears from the book that you are seeking. And you feel your hand pulse 2 more times, a bit more intensely, before finally subsiding. I have to make an actual sheet for this one yet. I haven't decided what to name this ritual, so I don't have it made yet. But another page of the book reappears to you.
Cool.
Atina, being alive and not taken over, as the party's like hanging out here, she, like, for a moment is like conversing and like hugging her sisters. Haven't seen them in a very long time, under her control. She turns to the party, and like in her hand you see a crystal that was described by Grand Priestess Frigid, and that half of you had seen in one of your visions, the small blue orb that has a 6-pointed snowflake inside. She holds it in her left hand. All of you, thank you for, well, not giving up on me, and by default, stopping what would have been a worse plague on the north. The Church of Oral owes you a great thanks. And holding this orb, I feel the memories of Priestess Frigis flowing into me slowly. I know the best way that we can thank you for these efforts. She told you about, when you were resting before, a chamber that held secrets that only the Chosen could open. Would you like to open that chamber?
Yeah.
I'm not going to physically move everybody all the way over there, just because we know what's kind of going on. The party, in a less concerned, like, stride. Yeah, you know, I can just group you all and drag you over there. Who am I freaking kidding?
Not if I go there first.
Oh, you'll definitely reach it first.
Uh-oh, I lost my token.
That's okay, I lost everybody else's too. In the darkness! Oh no, I see the problem.
Oh, it's hitting the portal.
That checks out. Ignore me while I move NPCs. I'm just gambling how far they actually are. We'll see if I actually get there. What everybody would see as they're moving down, especially the members who were not actively here, journeying through the other side, is the remnants of the battles that the other party had faced. You would see the dead Duragar, that lined the chamber that led out from the ritual room. You would see the druids. Sorry, still gotta move people. You would see the druids that they had to fight, slain across the ground. Various particles of ice, because I believe you had to fight ice methods a little bit too, that are just like jutted out of the ground, before re-entering the chamber that Grand Priestess Frigid had opened for you, with the exception of Bictune, who made his way back towards the ship. I would say that the party would maybe catch a final glimpse of him walking out before they, or at the very least, like you would see just a small figure of him way off in the distance, leaving through one of the entryways. You would see Atina. Oop, I still have everybody highlighted. So sorry. Atina would take the sphere and clench it close to herself. In Elvish, utter a divine prayer to that of Oral the Frost Maiden, and place her hand upon a door. And you would hear the sounds of, or you would see the ripple of runes of arcane energy that flowed through this room once again flow with that same eerie green color from when Priestess Regis had made the water have a healing effect. They move around the room several times before once again resurfacing on the door itself, and with a very audible unlocking noise, as if a large stone tumbler has been pulled out of its slot. The door opens, and you see this room beyond is not very large. It's maybe, I would say, 10 by 20 feet. But with inside, you find two things. You find a large chest with the six-pointed snowflake, and you see a stone tablet propped up against the wall. Who is all going to go towards the chamber?
I am.
Yeah, I'd go too.
Okay. Mirce, you hanging out, or you heading to join the party too?
I'll join the party.
Okay.
Yeah, what's the worst that could happen? Another Hedrun?
DM frantically taking notes. Just kidding. As you enter this small room, it's I don't know how to describe it. You see a large six-pointed snowflake that decorates the top center. This room being carved out of stone from ages long past. The chest itself, rather significant in size, bigger than like the chest you found in the Hedrun chamber. You would see Atina just place her hand upon the chest. The snowflake, a gemstone, lights up in a bright blue before shattering and allowing the chest to open. You would, within the chest, let me pull up my items so I can describe them correctly. You see two items within this chest. One of them, a vial that has a square base, a pyramid that comes up to the top and is corked by that of what looks to be some form of large winged bird. And the color within this vial, or flask, it'd be more of a flask than a vial. The color of the liquid within this flask swirls with a cross between blue and occasionally a flicker of orange, almost as if actively like moving inside. It almost feels as though it's alive, just based off of the arcane presence that it has within it. But you can tell it just by looking at it, especially you, Mirus and Aethros, that nothing is probably going to be summoned out of it. It doesn't seem like it's a summoning type vial, but it seems to be something of high importance, otherwise why would it be locked in this chamber? You feel as though it's probably something that is rather powerful. The other item that you see within this chest, placed on a small podium within this chest itself, is a large blue book with silver bindings that have various runes etched upon it, and blue arcane sigils, not like what the rest of the chamber had, where they seem to be elvish in nature. This one seems to be something significantly older, almost as if it's written with like a draconic script. So the two items that you find, and I will let me see if I can just give you access to see them without giving you everything. Configure ownership. It'll be in the homebrew items page. You find the... where is it? The Potion of Coldfire Phoenix. And you find... Oh god, it's down the T's. That's why I couldn't find it. An item that, when you see it, will be called the Tome of Conjuring Allies. Ebrin, as you are looking throughout this room, your eyes are drawn to the stone tablet that lays like propped up against the corner of this 10 by 20 chamber. You see, it looks to be written in an elvish text, but I want you to make a history check with advantage.
Okay. History. And just for the giggles.
Okay, so I'll give you a 19. You recognize first off that it's elvish handwriting on this tablet that kind of emanates with a, it has an arcane presence about it, but it reminds you a lot of your own powers. And looking deeper at the handwriting, or like the carvings of this tablet, you recognize it as your mother's handwriting. I'm going to give the party access to viewing this because the party would see it, and I believe everybody except maybe Miris can also read Elvish because you have 1,000 languages right now that you guys can freaking read. Let me put it. The item you'll be looking for under the homebrew items is the Testament of the Arathi Dreamweaver. As you guys look over the items, because I hope you can see them. I hope I gave the ownership correctly. If you can't, let me know. As you look over the items that you've acquired, or that you see here within these, within the chests and within the tablet, Atina would look to all of you. While I'm gaining Grand Priestess Frigid's memories and I'm understanding more about, well, the importance of what I assume will be my role when I return to the church. I don't know what the significance was of some of these items, but the one thing that I can see from memories, and she looks to you, Ebrin, in particular, is that this item that's here in this chamber was sealed away in a deal that was made with Frigis and what I'm guessing is your mother, a long time ago. And it's something that Hedrun desperately wanted. Besides, I mean, that tome over there is going to be something that I'm sure you'll get a great use out of. And she would look to the rest of the party. But there was something about that tablet that it just seemed important to her. Something with her Arathi blood, your blood, Ebrin. It's something about unlocking a great power. But I don't know much more beyond that yet. I'm sure I will in the coming days. And Matra and Xeonic are just kind of hanging out, outside the chamber. It's getting kind of crowded. So they're here, but they're talking to themselves, outside of the chamber.
Well, I would take the Dreamweaver. If anyone says anything, I'd be like, look, this is clearly from my mother, so I don't want to say it's rightfully mine, but I feel like I'm the only one that could utilize it the best, so.
Yeah, sure. You can have it.
Alright, and with no objections, I would put that with my persons.
Here, say you want it. Say you have dibs.
Wait, why would I want dibs on that?
Just because you really want it. No, that's how these things work.
I mean,
I mean, you don't want it, but you just don't want him to have it even more than. Yeah, right?
I mean, I'd feel kind of bad if he didn't get
But
it.
it would be funny.
I know. Let's just let him have this just this one time.
Fine. I guess you can have a book of his dead mother because he allowed Ono to die.
Oh yeah, he's like Atina would look at the group of you here. Oh yeah, I didn't see him. Was that recent? That part's kind of blacked out in my mind.
About 5 minutes ago, 5.5
I
minutes ago.
mean, like, he died, you're back, kind of related, so.
Oh,
Not saying we traded his life for your life, but, you should be more grateful towards us.
I mean, I am eternally grateful. Don't get me wrong. I didn't realize that me being brought back brought about his end. I'm really sorry to hear that. Broken. And as Atina says that, you would see like Ziena and Matra both kind of like look into the chamber. It's not just her who's sorry. You would hear Ziena come in. If she wouldn't have taken me before, well, you wouldn't have probably been fully in this mess. We might still be, I don't know, hunting her down, on the run, trying to kill her. I don't know, but it might not have ended in his death. And Matra would look around too. If I was stronger, maybe I could have helped more. I'm sorry I fell. I'm sorry I was down. As like she's like, you know, she's returned to like consciousness from like the spell that you had cast, but you can still see there's like remnants of her skin of like the necrosis from the blight spell that like haven't fully healed yet. As like her skin just looks kind of decayed in some places, but like she's like able to move around, like still hurt, but like she's okay. I'm so
we
sorry.
still have that telepathic bond. I want to
Yeah.
talk to Mears to be like, hey, so like, just so we're clear, we're gonna make him feel bad. But once we get back to the ship, you're gonna use that true resurrection spell on him, right?
I guess we could.
But we're not gonna tell them, just so that they feel extra bad that he died.
We still have to go find the body is the issue. And with what happened, I don't know if there will be a body, Aethros.
You don't need the body. You just need the memory, I'm pretty sure.
Atina, being someone who has the memories and is slowly gaining a lot of the powers that Frigid has had over time here, would chime in, also being a cleric. Memories, if my new memory serves me correctly, I doubt it would lead me astray. If you don't have a body for the person, it will make one when the ritual is complete.
This is all telepathic. She's not in this
Oh
conversation.
shoot, you're right. So sorry. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah. Yeah, I want them to feel bad that, like, you know, oh no, sacrifice himself for them, but like, we're totally getting him back. So, yeah.
So what would the party like to do? That no one would object to the party taking all three of the items that were locked within this room, this chest and the tablet. Ibrin, you feel that while you can definitely keep the tablet, that by merely placing your hand upon it you might have just chosen not to do that yet, but by placing your hand upon it, it'll be a one-time transfer and you'll permanently have the extra effects. Just for your own reference. But
I would have picked it up So I don't know if it's as soon as I touch it, like a purple pink hue envelops around me or something.
Right. It would be there's a hand indentation in the center of the tablet below the text. So you'd have to place your hand in the indentation to get the effect whenever you choose to.
I would place my hand.
You would place your hand within the center indentation, it being almost a perfect size for your hand to place. Being of this elven nature, people have very similar traits, and as you place that, you feel not so much like for a brief instance, maybe half a second to a second, you feel almost as if your power is being pulled from you. And as you fall, you like ponder for a moment, like what's going on. You feel it immediately rush back into you, pulling the power from the tablet along with it. The arcane runes that have been emanating this purple hue disappear slowly as they make their way up, almost like veins of purple arcane, into your hand and up into your body before the purple disappears, like residing within you, gaining newfound powers. So your I can manually change the range on your psionic arrows, but if you didn't have sharpshooter, which I forgot about when I made this, it would be a range of 8320, but sharpshooter negates the disadvantage at long range. So your psychic arrows now have the same range as a short bow, basically. So unless you're fighting across an entire battlefield, probably won't need to use your longbow for certain things unless they're immune to the psychic damage.
Very nice.
Just gotta make those
All right.
changes.
Yeah, it was basically just those three things in this room, nothing else.
Nothing that you can actively see. You see, yeah, it's really the chest that had the two items inside, and then the large tablet, that, or I guess portable, but still decently large tablet that Ebron had picked up.
Perception to see if I see anything else.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, maybe. I don't know. Just want to make sure there's nothing else that we're forgetting or leaving behind.
You take a look around the room, just really quadruple checking to see if you can find anything else that might have been missed. And you look on the ground, and you see there's a small, like one of the stones on the ground doesn't seem to match what the rest of the chamber has. Like what the rest of the stone, like the wear and tear, it doesn't seem to match what the rest of the chamber has.
I like kneel down, look at it, try and move it.
You are able to pick up said the stone itself is loose. You feel that you can move it out of the way, should you so choose to.
Yes, and I put the stone in my pocket.
Okay. Takes the big stone, put it in your pocket. You see underneath the stone, you see a large, or I guess maybe palm size, like the size of like a Pokeball, essentially. What looks to be a piece of ice that emanates a wisp of energy, but it you don't see like anything melting or disappearing. It reminds you a lot of like in the real world, like that of like dry ice, how it has this aura about it that emanates out this vapor.
I pick it up. Or I go to touch it.
It does not seem to hurt you.
Pick it up.
All right, you pick it up and you hold it in your hand, and you find a final item here.
1 copper piece.
An item known as the Shard of Winter's Embrace, which allows you to cast Sending to someone at the Church of Oral. So you would have communication with the church without having to use the Sending spell. Why this is here, you're not 100% sure. Doesn't seem... It's as if something placed this more recently than when the rest of these items were put here. But you find it sitting below a rock. Why it was hidden will forever remain a mystery.
Yeah, after finding this, I'm actually going to cast Detect Magic as a second level spell, because I don't have any more first level. But
Okay, fair.
And then just, look around, see if I see anything else. Just,
Would you like
quick
some
double check.
assistance investigating the area, good sir?
At this point, I just see magic stuff. I don't think I need assistance. It's just like, oh, there's a glowing thing. That's magic.
Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh,
Yeah.
piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy.
Can penetrate most barriers. But blocked by a foot or stone, an inch of common metal, 10 feet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt.
Looking around, you see, while you don't see, like, God, what do you want to call it? You don't see any more, like, indentations embedded within the wall, or, like you don't feel a ton of extra, like, magic energy coming from within this room. There is one area of the room that seems to draw your attention. You don't see like an indentation that naturally appears looking around over here, but you feel the emanation of some form of evocation magic from behind where the tablet was, like in that corner, like kind of like rippling out through the wall.
Okay, I go over there. I guess it, like, I don't want to do Arcana check, but like insight, get a better feel for what's there, or perception, maybe.
I would say you could roll either an insight or perception. I think either of them would be fine.
All right, yeah. Give myself guidance
Okay.
if that's allowed.
Yeah. 26. Fuck. Okay.
Yeah.
While things themselves seem to like, the room itself seems to not have any more like passages or like hidden areas that you can visibly see. You feel, like I said, you continue to feel this strong evocation energy coming from behind, and as you begin to like try to figure out how you're going to get back there, you're beginning to realize that the only way you're going to be able to probably get in there is by either breaking, like with a hammer of some sort, a hole into that part of the wall, or some other like means of destruction to break away some of like the stonework that has been crafted out of this room. Whatever is back there is rather potent. You feel it all the way out here, but you can't find any real way to, besides destroying part of the wall, to open it up.
Okay, so this might sound crazy, but I'm now gonna cast See Invisibility. This also doesn't require concentration, I just realized. So I can see into the ethereal plane. I don't know if that's gonna give me any hints or insight onto what to do here.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
if it's just break the wall, I'll smash it with my hammer.
As
But
you
just in case there's any like runes or glyphs.
Yeah. As you cast out the See Invisibility spell, almost as if perfectly inlaid, like against the wall, or I should say, like perfectly laid out so that way the wall seems smooth in its location. You see the appearance, it appearing like because it's invisible. You see what looks to be a rather large sword that is embedded within the wall itself, emanating this cold evocation energy, being great sword in size. With the See Invisibility, you feel, you know where it is. You don't have to break the wall. Like now knowing where it is, it seems to be on the surface, but it's laid out almost perfectly flat that you wouldn't notice it without some form of magical interference.
Well, can I just go and grab it?
Absolutely. As you pull out the the sword from the wall, you find, and I'll add it to your inventory just because I can't edit this object right away, a Frostbrand greatsword. And that's the final piece of arcane, final piece of like unusual or like unfound arcane presence that you find within this chamber.
Okay. Oh, there it is.
I'm actually gonna rename it because it technically has a different name. It has the same stats, but it's technically named Oral's Bane.
All right. So if I can't see anything that's invisible, can't detect anything else that's magical in this room, anything else that's normal, mundane, with my perception check, I think I'm good in this room. Unless anyone else wants to do some stuff.
No, I mean, we
I
can
feel like we got everything.
head back and meet up with Big Tune, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you cleared it out, everyone. You would hear Atina kind of say, I don't foresee any reason why things should stay here. I hope that we could just seal off this Ziggurat for hopes that future rituals don't happen here. I'll be working with the church to try and fix that.
Why don't we just destroy it then?
With
got a
Aethra
cannon.
saying that, I was gonna say, with Aethra saying that, I'm gonna give him a look. I'm like, the cannon?
Yeah, like if this place is bad, just destroy it. No sense in keeping it around so other people can do bad stuff with it.
Yeah, that's fair. As the party's kind of getting ready to walk out, or like begins walking out of this chamber, you would reach the crossroads, that the four-way intersection, and I think Irini would stop for a moment. Are you sure we shouldn't go and, see if we can find his body?
Yeah, sure. Wait, whose body? Oh,
Uh,
Ono's still alive, right? Nah. That's with you.
You scared me for a moment. I was like, Aethros, you can't be that dense.
That sounds like a challenge.
I mean, I'm pretty muscular, and muscle is pretty dense. So, I mean, I might be that dense.
Just gonna
You don't know.
Just gonna RP that out unless you guys really want to see the rest of the map.
Yeah, that's fine. I was just kind of curious for my own sake, seeing the
Oh
whole
yeah,
map.
no, that's fine. If people want to adventure over there, they can. The party. So is everyone who's still in thing gonna go look for Ono, or is the party is some of the party going back to the ship to find Big Tune?
I'm gonna go look for Ono.
Okay, Irini would
Yeah.
go look for Ono.
Tag with them as well. And I would gesture towards Matra. Why don't you take your sisters back to the ship for now?
Yes, I think that would be a good idea. This place is gonna be forever plagued in my memory. I'd like to get out of it sooner rather than later. But if you do decide you need assistance finding Ono, let us know, okay? We'll be on the ship, going to find Big Tune, I suppose. And they would
Kind of walking away.
Yeah.
I would say, don't start drinking all the alcohol till we get there. Save us some.
Yeah.
A giant
Okay.
drum of alcohol.
Right.
Yeah, there's still a bunch of that booze on the ship, isn't there? From
As,
that one big cask, right?
yeah, there was one cask for sure that you found that had just a super ancient wine, but there was another cask I think that the party hasn't opened yet, if I'm not mistaken. As the party ventures to find to look for Ono's body, they would pass the crystalline room that harnessed and transferred power, those covered by the warding magic. The warding magic now gone. Atop those crystals, they would venture through the ritualistic room where the party had fought several specters and a ghost and other ice methods, and would venture beyond the chamber that connected the different ziggurats together according to Ono. And then they would find at the end of that the rubble from the final room where the arcane conduit and the battle with Sephik had taken place. And as the party ventures up to the rubble, there is what you would see is from the rubble a small, although not small, a heavy but rather thin trail of blood that seems to start from a pile of rubble, and it extends out about 10 or so feet before stopping abruptly. Whoever is like searching through the rubble to find Ono, I want you to make I'm gonna say an investigation check.
I'll give someone the help action to give them advantage.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Very nice. As you, the group of you, search through the rubble, somewhere probably about a foot to a foot and a half deeper into the rubble, you find what looks to be the edge, like a jagged edge of like a broken bone, and Ono's. As you dig it out, you find that it is Ono's right arm. You rolled a 25. Okay, not that I don't think you would need to roll that high to even get all this information anyway. But as Ebrin and Aethros, like the two of you, kind of uncover Ono's right arm from like the bone is broken like right above the elbow, and you see that as you pull out his arm, inside its hand, while covered in blood, you find the Pesrian puzzle box.
Yeah, so I take the box.
Okay. I
And-
will add that to your inventory.
Oh, I just did.
Or if you did, perfect, that's fine.
Yeah, it's one
I
of the
didn't know
older
if you guys
ones.
could see it or not, or if it was just Ono who could see the puzzle box, but it is unlocked for your reference, so
Okay.
yeah.
And we just see his arm.
And then-
do we want to like dig out the rest of his body? Ebrin?
I mean, with my roll, is there any indication that there is the rest of the body?
Looking through more of the rubble, you would dig maybe like just like where the arm was, like another maybe 2 or so feet back, and you see more like blood spattered stones, but you don't find his body. You feel if his arm was this far, unless it was dislodged and launched across the chamber from where he was, that the trail of blood that emanates out from this pile here might be where his body is. But you don't see anything beyond like a 10-foot stretch that ends abruptly after that 10 feet.
Aethros, buddy, I think this is gonna be all that we find of him.
We can dig him out, right? It'll only take a couple days or month. We can get him, right?
I don't think this is going to be one of those scenarios where we can get him. I don't think there is a him to get.
Okay. I pick up his hand that we do have.
Okay, you have successfully taken Ono's hand.
Well, yeah, I guess we get back to the ship.
As you kind of like dust yourself off after going through the stone, you take one final look at the where like the blood trail kind of comes to an end, and you see, now looking a bit more closely, Ebron and Athros in particular, you see the etched within the stone seems to be arcane sigils, and at the center of the arcane sigils you see a symbol. I will post it in general, what you see. From the center of a circle of runes that emanate out from where that blood spatter kind of comes to an end. It kind of comes to an end at the edge of the runes, rather abruptly.
And do we have a clue what this is?
I was about to say, should I do an intelligence check or history or arcana to see if I know that from anywhere? Kind of like the Child of the Red Sun thing? Is that...
I would say make a history check.
I'll give you the help action this time.
As the two of
And
you
I
put your
think,
brains together.
Or do you
my
want to give me
armor,
the
I think I
help
get a
action?
+2.
Yes, you do.
The Holy Warrior. Do religion and history check. Okay. We said it's a history?
It's a history check.
You know, I'll give you the help action, Ebron.
All right.
Putting your brains together again.
Yeah, it's the wise choice. Because I know when to do wise things.
Okay, 17. The two of you with Miris and Irini alongside kind of sit there and ponder, or stand there and ponder of what the symbol might mean. But thinking through like your own histories of travel and like before you even formed as a party and books that you might have read, those of you who could read at the time, you don't make out any like familiarity with this symbol. This is something that you feel is very old in origin, like just based off of like its crudeness in design, but you can't make out much more beyond that. Even you, Ebron, looking at it from the knowledge you might have gained before you entered the astral plane to recover from the wounds that you had, this never rang a bell in your texts that you had read.
Well, I don't know. Let's, I don't know, grab the stone and go.
The stone.
Or like a picture of it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I want to make a mental note of what this looks like, so I don't forget it.
Okay.
I'm not smart. Hopefully, I won't have to do an intelligence check to remember it later, but yeah. Yeah, and then head out.
Just moved it over to campaign art, so it didn't get lost in general.
Oh. Okay.
All right, so the party taking Ono's arm, taking the Pezra's puzzle box, and just making a note, or Irini, if nobody else would like grab out a piece of parchment and just like try and like take a image of it, kind of like what Ebron did with the symbol on the ship. Although he wasn't part of that party, but he would have told the party about that because it came up at one point. she would try to do the same thing and just put it on like a little piece of parchment and put it in her pack. As the party returns to the ship, Bictune, what have you been up to all this time?
Well, I probably would have first went for all that alcohol and would have drank myself silly, whether or not
Oh,
I'm
would Big
conscious
Tune
or
have
not.
remembered? Because you forgot before we brought it up.
I forgot, sure, but Big Tune would not have forgotten. I forget what happens week to week.
Bictune remembers a little bit of what happens.
Yeah, Pictu would remember where the alcohol is.
That's fair. That and milk and catnip.
Yeah.
Usually.
Uh-huh.
All right. Bictune, very, very intoxicated over time here. I would say as you return to the ship, you would be greeted by the familiar yet slightly eerie presence of Valine. Am I to assume that you've succeeded?
She talking to me?
Yeah, as you like approach the ship, I would say.
Oh,
like, before you got shit-faced drunk.
I don't even register. Like, completely lost in my own mind. Like, no response whatsoever. I just walk right past and make my way to a nice little corner of the ship as best I can with as much of that booze as I can carry with me.
Yeah, you would like go down to like the chambers area and like grab the remaining alcohol from within the or like grab the remnants of the large barrel that everyone had been drinking from. There's not a lot of, there's enough alcohol to like really get you shit faced, but like you'll probably be the only person to be able to drink out of this one before they'd have to open up the other one. You just grab the whole barrel and you just take it into like your room or something.
Yeah, I just find like the most like secluded corner of this ship to the best of my ability and just sit there and drink and think and drink and think and drink and think. He's very, very unsure of what he wants to do at this point.
As you drink in silence and think in silence, you would hear short, I would say maybe like 10 minutes after you arrive, the familiar sounds of Maitra and Ziena and also Atina arriving at the ship, and while you can only make out like the sounds of mumbles because of how far away you are from them and Ziena, you would hear them all begin to converse, but you can't understand what. And as you continue to drink, the mumbles that you hear become significantly more garbled, as you would be like, I'm gonna say make a Constitution check.
Sure.
Bictune's pounding it away. Not bad, not bad. The alcohol content within this wine is so very, very potent that it does not take much for you to start to feel things, but you just keep going.
Yep.
You just keep going, and by the time the party will arrive at the vessel, you will have drank the rest of what remains from within the barrel. The empty barrel now laying like sideways on the ground, dribbling a little like tiny stream of wine onto like the wood that makes up the floor of your chamber. As the party would arrive back at the vessel, or Shiraha, you on the surface as you're like climbing up the ladder that's embedded within the side of the ship, you would see the three sisters and Valine conversing, and then Valine would see you, and like even though she's like in the middle of conversation with like Atina and Maitra in particular, Ziena being very skeptical of the woman, Valine would approach the party as they arose, her maybe having to walk over like 15 feet. There's something you all should know. First off, before that, did you win? I'm assuming you did if Atina's here, but I need to hear you say it.
Who's asking?
Valine, the old woman.
Yeah, I walked past her. I'm ignoring her. Cold shoulder.
Okay. Athros, Miras. Irini would follow suit
mentally-
for the majority of the
and
party, but
I was gonna say mentally, I hope everybody else does not say anything and blow that bitch off.
Athros, Mirus.
I just look at her and be like, "Win what?" And then walk past her.
This does not fill me with the hope that I had for this endeavor. What happened in there? And she would look to you, Mirus, to see if you respond to her.
Nope, I basically just walk past with a stony look on my face.
Okay. So,
Spit.
Valine, yeah, Spit, not seeing everybody else ignore her, would just like give her a score, maybe blow a raspberry, and then just like walk inside. Valine would return to the three girls, and just like as the last member of the party is entering the chambers, you would just hear her utter out. So like Mirus and Spit, you would just hear her say, "What's wrong with them?" As like the door shuts and the four of them are like outside in the cold. The group of you would find, venturing your way down, the barrel of wine that was sitting within the workshop missing, and Big Toon's door open, but the rest of the ship right now is yours to do with what you wish at this point. You've slain Hedrun permanently. You've destroyed the arcane conduit that was powering her, preventing the ritual, freeing Atina, freeing Zienna, uniting the sisters. Is there anything the party would like to do at this time?
I'm just gonna kind of break off from the group, go to my room, and quietly shut the door.
Okay.
I go to Mirrors and be like, so here's his arm if you want to, resurrect him.
Don't we need the whole body for that?
Nah, we can regrow stuff with that spell.
Okay, maybe we'll try that later then.
All right, I guess it's later then. Yeah.
If anybody so chooses to seek me out, I feel like they would probably find me at this point. I'd like to imagine I was sitting in a chair with my feet kicked up on the now tipped over barrel of wine, and I've probably passed out at this point.
Okay. So Big Toon is fucking sloshed, passed out with like his feet
Or at least
kicked up.
blacked out anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. You anybody who would open the door a little bit more, it cracked for the moment, but you'd be able to look inside. Yeah, you would see exactly what Big Toon described. Him at the very least blacked out. You haven't interacted with him to see if he's unconscious, but he seems. You see the wine like tipped over on the ground, just a little trickle emanating out from the top, but not much.
I go over to Victoon, pull the deck of many things out of my pocket, and just whisper in his ear, "You want to draw a card?" Eh? Give him a little nudge.
I feel like I look at him with probably about the blankest stare I could, that like is possible. I guess not that you can't really muster a blank stare, and just look at him, then look back right in front of me and just sit. He is completely defeated at this point, and also might not be able to lift his arms because he's too drunk.
I gotta do this the hard way. I use my last second level spell and cast Lesser Restoration on you to cure you of your drunkenness.
Yeah, the poison of the wine.
Yeah.
he would pull its effects out of you, Pictoon.
Jesus Christ.
And again, with the deck, many things just pretend it's like, you want to draw a card?
Here, give me a minute here.
Only for him to drink even more. Man, we could have so many more fun shenanigans.
Spooky.
Big Toon does not draw any cards. He still refuses to speak. That being said, he is now obviously not drunk, so he looks largely normal, other than the look of defeat that I mentioned earlier.
Yeah, just what now?
It's like slumped shoulders, just dumped into the chair, just looks at the deck and then looks at you again, and just honestly does not break eye contact.
Alright, I guess I'll just leave you to it. You don't want to draw a deck or cards from the deck. Mears doesn't want to resurrect. Oh no.
He's
Alright,
gone,
fine.
isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. At least we won, I guess.
Yep. You want to shoot the cannon?
Not right now.
Wow. It could be fun.
I would probably just ruin the mood. I'm gonna need a little bit more time. You can hang out here and can maybe play some regular cards or something, but I don't know how much fun I'm going to be for a little while.
That's fair.
Is there before the party would take a long rest, besides maybe some regular cards played by Aethros and Big Toon that the party would like to do, or is recuperation on the menu?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we're good.
The party, as you all simmer in for the evening, you would be able to take a long rest. Though, if you want to wait, you are going to be leveling up next session, and I think you have to redo a long rest to gain the benefits. So we'll plan that before we actually play, that you can take your long rest. But one by one, as each of you lull off to the sleep that is so rightfully deserved, or in the case of Ebrin, the meditative rest, you all feel a chilling cold creep into the back of your minds as you're dreaming your various dreams, and you find yourselves pulled back into the Ziggurat. Not in its current state, but it seems to be shortly after the explosion that took Ono's life. You watch as the rubble that you had been digging through, you see Ono's lifeless body, currently crushed, but still mostly intact. And you hear the sound of footsteps, almost as if heels on tile, walking through this chamber. You see the image appearing before you as you witness this scene of a tiefling woman, black robes, black skin, slightly lighter skin than the robes, and two horns that curl down to about halfway down the back of her cranium, shoulder-ish length black hair, but eyes that glow of yellow. She approaches Ono, and you hear her utter an incantation, and you watch as Ono's body, what was dead, comes back to life, and you hear him cough, blood spewing out from his mouth. You hear her speak. Ah, what a scene. The great and mighty brought low, reduced to a pitiful wretch beneath a pile of stone and sorrow. How deliciously fitting. I must admit, I never expected to find such a perfect opportunity, an almost poetic end for one so esteemed. And yet, here you are, gasping for breath, your strength ebbing away with each feeble heartbeat. You were so full of bravado, so eager to save the world, to play the hero. And now look at you, helpless, broken. The irony is almost too sweet to savor. It seems that fate has a dark sense of humor, placing you directly within my path, a dying ember waiting to be extinguished by the hand of a mere scavenger. You might think that death is your escape, a release from this wretched fate, but oh, how wrong you are. We've seen many faces in the throes of their final moments, and let me tell you, the true torment lies not in the end itself, but in the anticipation of it. We'll make sure your final act is not one of peaceful surrender, but of frantic desperation. You see, and she reaches down and she grabs Ono, with a little bit of effort. She's able to pull him from the rubble, which is kind of unheard of given that it took the two of you a significant amount of strength to move some of the rocks out of the way. You see, your suffering will serve a far greater purpose than simply ending here among the rubble. No, we have plans for you, grand plans. You are not merely a casualty of a ruined battle. You are a pawn in our grand scheme, a piece to be manipulated for our own dark amusement. And as much as you may wish for a quick end, oh no, it's you. We have other ideas. I will take you with me, and your broken body will become a living testament to our power. Your comrades will know of your fate, and how you met your end, not on the battlefield, but in the clutches of a scavenger with a taste for the dramatic. They will search in vain, stumbling through the wreckage while I weave my dark designs. So take solace in this, oh no. As you fade, you will leave them behind a legacy of fear and a reminder of the folly of underestimating those who lurk in the shadows. And we, your grim captors, will revel in the chaos and the terror we will sow from your final moments. And you would see Ono, the pain of pulling him out and his arm now being detached, which is what was left within the rubble, utters out this cry of pain before falling unconscious. Rest now, my dying guest. The real journey begins shortly, and we promise it will be a descent into darkness unlike any you have ever known. And she slumps him over her shoulder. You would see the blood kind of pouring from his missing arm out that 10 feet before she utters another incantation and summons some form of teleportation spell. This takes her and Ono to an undisclosed location. And with that, I think that's where we're going to end it for tonight.
So now, if Miris does try to res Ono, is it going to be like a vision and white vision scenario?
Well, if he's not actually dead, it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
He has to be
He has
dead
to
and
be deader than a bee.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And his soul also has to be free and willing to come back. You could cast True Resurrection and you'd be like, no, I'm good. and then it would just fizzle out and out.
Ah, the classic Goku.
Yeah.
So, next session, as we pick up from this, will be a level up session. We're going to build Joe's character, and then do our level up stuff, and depending on how things are with Big Tune, there might be some changes. I don't know what they look like. I don't know all that information. Only Nick does. But, so next week, Tuesday, is the vice presidential debate. So if it starts like it did last time where it starts at 8, would people be interested in doing like a 2-hour 6 to 8 session?
Sure.
Next Tuesday, let me check my calendar real quick. That's the 1st.
Fine by me.
That should work for me.
Yeah, I
That'd
think
work for me.
I'd be good with that.
Okay.
I mean, it seems like it's going to be largely, clerical at least at the beginning, anyway. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like honestly, we're building we're building Joe a level 7 character, so it'll take a little more time than like what it took for all
Right.
of you. And all of you will have your level up stuff. So if anybody has anything of significance that like I need to add to Foundry for your level up, let me know. Most of you I think won't if you continue down your like current class track, but at the same time, people can multi-class, so I don't know. Just think about it, and then we'll plan for next week. If you know what you're going to be doing, and you know that like Foundry doesn't have it, because I only have the SRD stuff naturally in Foundry, just let me know, and I'll try to add it over the course of this week.
No, mine's just normal cleric stuff. It's just if there's spells that.
Oh yeah, because you'll have access to 4th
SRD.
level spells now, won't you?
Yeah.
And I'm going to do a revamp on Irini's 4th level, so that way she has some combat utility.
Oh yeah, that was the big thing. We want to make sure we change some of her spells out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So if there's group decisions on like what spells she should change out, she's within your power for that one. Like I said, like in character, whenever you decide to let her go through with her like transition with the Nameless, she'll get another power boost as part of her boon that will give her access to more spells that she doesn't normally get on her spell list. So whenever the party decides to let her do that, I can start implementing all that stuff. Before we go, though, I want to debrief us on this fucking battle, because so much shit could have been a little bit different had certain decisions been made versus others. So like I said, I had planned four of 5 possible scenarios. One of what the 5th scenario being a TPK, and I'm like, I don't foresee the party actually dying here. Not everyone anyway. So there was the full-on, if you all just decided to go to fight the conduit and then deal with Hedrun after, Hedrun would have probably, as long as there is a fog cloud somewhere on the map, like, she could move to that fog cloud within the Ziggurat because of the arcane power. So if you guys would have went to fight Cephik and he summoned the fog cloud, she could have came and just fought you all there. But the party split in half, and the half distracted her while the other half took care of Cephik. That was the move that had the most positive outcomes. Things I didn't factor in was Miras losing his maximum health twice, and like people losing like so much health. But like for the party who went after Cephik, had you gone into that chamber that had like the stone giant chained, you would have had to fight a frost giant. It would have formed out of the ice and locked you in the chamber until it was defeated. So that was a trap. You didn't fall for the trap. Good for you. Very proud of you. As you, the other party, should you have let the Duragar survive, which was not on the table when we were fighting, but should you have let them survive, you would not have had to fight and like gain the Shield Guardian. Hedrun would have summoned a powerful like necrotic ice elemental that like she would have killed 3 of them immediately and summoned their bones together to make a large the same size as like the shield giant ice elemental that was insanely powerful, but you guys didn't have to fight that, so that was eliminated. Should the party have chosen to fight Hedrun and only Hedrun by going down the path to her chambers. There would have been no way to like stop her regeneration. She still would have had her legendary resistances. But the party, if you could get her down to 0 health faster than she could regenerate her health, still could have defeated her. But with the Arcane Conduit and Sephic still alive, she regenerated 100 HP per turn. With Sephic gone, with the Sephic gone and the Arcane Conduit there, she regenerated 50. And with both of them gone, she lost her regeneration altogether. So when Irini disrupted it, it disrupted her regeneration. Didn't have to worry about that for very long afterward. Trying to think of anything else that was kind of crazy that I had. But I can't think of anything else directly right now. The party could have very easily just killed Hedrun and not saved Atina, but that wouldn't have gotten you the items in the back room, so it's good that you did that. There were various ways that the party technically could have saved Ono. Not various. There was like one way you could have saved Ono in the Arcane Conduit room. But like Ono's very observant. So like he was keeping an eye on the arcane stuff because he's obsessed with magic. Like it makes sense for him. Him being missing / dying in that moment was totally something I could see him doing. So like I don't feel like I was out of character by awakening his boon to the next level and sending you all as far as he possibly could. To help with the rest of the battle. Did that steal the moment from Bictoon that he would have slain Hedrun? Yeah. Do I feel bad about that? Yeah.
I don't know that. I don't know. I think what ultimately stole it was just the perfect fucking crit roll.
Honestly, yeah.
I was kind of doing the mental math, not mental math, but like watching the little injured, not injured thing go, and I was like, this should be perfect. It should leave me with exactly enough to pretty much absolutely like just fuck her up. And then he said, "Nah, let's do 24 damage."
Right?
Yeah.
I was like, all right, well.
The freaking party. Okay, I love you guys.
As a versatile attack too.
Right.
Well, the crit only gave you 4 extra damage.
But with the sharpshooter added onto it, it was really
the
nice.
sharpshooter.
The sharpshooter is really what made that attack actually do enough. The freaking... I was so mad at myself, but you guys were so perfect with the battle against Sephic, because you rolled a crit against him, Ibrin, that did a ton of damage. He regenerated from that. Ono hit him with a crit, with a firebolt, so it did max firebolt damage, and he's weak to fire. He's still weak to fire. And then I was like, no problem. He'll heal within the fog cloud. They can't hit him. Freaking fairy fire hits. Like, it was iconic. Like, Sephic was not going to last very long. And then it was just a matter of dealing with the conduit, which you guys did by keeping your range for the most part, Irini taking the blunt of the up-close damage. But, like, you guys were amazing. Like, I hope you thoroughly enjoyed the Hedrun battle as much as I enjoyed planning it. If you didn't, I'm sorry. Like, give me tips to help make it better next time. But, it was a large map, and I enjoyed making the map, so I definitely want to do that again for whatever comes up next.
No, I thought the Hedrun battle was really good. The one thing just annoying, I think you played it perfectly. It was just annoying going after her and then her just running away. It's like, well,
she was cocky.
Can't use a hammer.
She was cocky till Sephic died, because then her ability to resist, like she lost her legendary resistances. She had 3 of them. She lost them all. She only used, I don't even think she used any of hers. I think only Sephic used his one that he had.
Yeah.
And that was like a wake-up call to her, because she's seen everything in the north. So like everything that the snow touches that's in Oral's domain, she was able to see. So she saw you get Spirit Breaker. And so like her be like, oh, it's fine, I'll resist this. Shatters the layer of shielding she has. Fuck. He can easily purge me now. But the moment...
it was the right way to play. It's just frustrating. Like, I got up to her, and then she's gone. It's like, oh, God.
I was thinking about that literally all week. I'm like, fuck, she's within range. And I'm like, wait, she still has her legendary action, and it's a non-concentration spell, which is the condition that I set. Misty Step is non-concentration. I can get out of range.
Yeah.
But the moment was iconic when you guys killed Hedrun, to me, because in that matter of moments when the party reappeared and like regained themselves, saw the down party members, just lost Ono, that was when Aethros freaking silvery barbs her, like the silvery barbs duel. Silvery barbs you down, but it's okay because I still rolled this, and then tries to resist it, succeeds, silvery barbs, fails, gets purged. Like, it was
Yeah.
iconic. And then the crit to deal the damage, and then taking her down. It was chef's kiss. I loved every moment of it.
Oh yeah.
Like I could not ask for a happier moment. I just wish I had different music on for that. So if someone is good at animating and they want to make that happen, make it as intense as possible. But I was very, very happy that this was how the boss battle, because like usually your boss battles up till now have been like, you go, you kill the target. You had a secondary objective here to make the battle easier, and literally once those objectives were completed, the battle was, there's no way she was going to win, pretty much.
Yeah.
So like,
Because we had essentially 3 people down against the Hedrun, and we were looking like we weren't going to beat her, and I was like, oh, now we can't regenerate. Things are completely different. All the party members are there. Just
Yeah, literally
definitely
in 6
decide
seconds,
to
the
battle.
entire tide shifted and it was
did.
won.
At the cost of Ono, but like everybody else was able to get out, and like that was the moment right there that like, yeah, she was very much
the ultimate
in favor.
inspiration.
And like in truth, so she had up to 5th level spells that she could cast, and she had a limited number of slots because like it takes time for that arcane power to regenerate. But she had access all the way up to 5th level spells, and all the spells up to that point, and she could cast technically 2 spells per round. So like, and with the arcane conduit up, she could cast 2 concentration spells if she wanted to, but you guys kept breaking her concentration, so she shifted strategies. And just hit you with as much damage as possible. Hence why Big Toon went down twice. Besides the crit fails being in that too. But like, once she lost that, she didn't get a chance to even use anything, but she lost all except for up to what Atina had for spell slots. So it would have been 2nd level spells. So like, there was nothing she could really do because she burnt through a lot of her spells already. So like, she was literally a druid who could throw ice lances. At that point, the tide shifted completely to the other side, and it was one of my favorite things. So like, I'm very, very happy that like you guys got to do that, and that Big Toon didn't die there. I was really worried about him. Shield Guardian came in clutch there, because that would have been another con save he would have had to make. This battle was so intense to me, I felt like I needed to debrief it with you, because so many things could have shifted. If you guys would have, if the half the party would have fought the Frost Giant, that would have been more time spent away, which means like Big Toon would have gone down and the party would not have recovered as quickly. Like, that would have been 4 more rounds, if not more, of like, you know, delay between what happened now and then. So it was iconic, and I loved it, and I gotta design boss battles that are fun like this one to me in the future too. Like, not all of them like this, some different things, but like same general idea that like you have secondary objectives that can help you.
No, it definitely was stressful. Just seeing people go down, it's like, uh-oh.
I'll say definitely on our end, not knowing what happens in like an IRL situation, that was definitely played out beautifully. 2 things. 1, I can't readjust my max HP to back to what it was. I don't know if Ian's having the same issue. But 2, I kind of felt bad on our side because all those ice methods, I pretty much like one-shot, and then we got the Sephic, and I did like 50 points of damage. Then he had to use his legendary resistance immediately, otherwise the dude would have died before he even got to fight. So I was like, I'm like,
well, no, that's sharpshooter in a nutshell. Is it just does way too much damage, and in the revised handbook they got rid of the +10 damage.
It was the sharpshooter, but then Arini also hit on her big bang attack essentially.
She hit and he had to resist it. So like, that burnt through his resistance and once again failed the thing. But had he not done that, or had he not had that, it would have probably taken him out turn 1, because he's considered undead, and it does double damage against undead. So that would have been a really quick battle. The party could have probably got there sooner. But like, that's how it plays out sometimes. So now it's like a learning lesson. Like, if you feel that there's if you feel that an enemy might have legendary resistances, don't your full force on turn 1. See if they have anything that can resist it first. That's what I run into in my other campaign at level 19. At level 19, that is more important now than ever. And your guys are level 7 and just getting introduced to the concept, so like it's huge. So just, you know, now you know for future boss battles too. But it's like most of you know, but like anybody who's not experienced, in D&D. Like that's a huge. It shifts the phases of the battle, and that and like legendary actions.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, legendary actions are awesome when you're the DM, but annoying when you're the player. It's like, oh, they're just gonna go right in between our turns again.
yep.
It's great.
I do unfortunately have to get up early, but I wanted to make sure I talked to you all about the battle before I forgot about all my fun details. We'll plan for 6 p.m. next week to begin level up stuff. I know I gotta send Joe some messages to see what he's thinking so I can plan ahead, and then we'll plan for whatever ends up being. Nick, you and I will probably be in contact too because I'm not sure what it looks like for Big Tune. So,
Agreed.
And as the party left on that cliffhanger, at some point I'll post that in the chat, just like what was said as Ono got like taken away. But I'm gonna leave it there for tonight. I hope to see you all next week. If you have any questions, since this is a level up session, shoot me a message. I'll try to answer them when I can.
We already know
Alright.
what we're gonna do. Should we just do it?